Well. Man, let me tell y'all something. This doggone Jerry Jones interview, I mean, there are still people reacting to a lot of the things that Jerry Jones said in that interview. I told y'all before, man, Jerry Jones is an absolute walking headline. And there is a reason why the media loves when Jerry Jones speaks, because they know full well they're going to be able to milk about 3 or 4 days of just drama off of what Jerry Jones said, even if it's not what Jerry Jones said. And so today, we're going to get right back into that Jerry Jones interview. And what we're going to do, as Jerry Jones mentions various subject matters, we're going to weave in some of the media's responses to what Jerry Jones has said. And there's been a lot of responses to what Jerry Jones has said. Let's talk Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, let's go. I'm telling y'all right now, man, we got a lot of stuff. Man, this Jerry Jones interview, boy, you got to listen to it again to even believe some of the stuff that's coming out of it. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And as you come into this live stream, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And yes, we are live. And if you haven't become a channel member or subscriber yet, what are you waiting on? We have a lot of great content coming up this season. Now let's talk facts. We're going to pick back up where we were yesterday, and I'm going to add something to this today. So, if I'm not mistaken, Jerry Jones says something about Christian Parker inside of this interview. And so I'm going to use that as a launching point because I've already been talking about this. The Cowboys are banking huge. They are banking huge on Christian Parker. The Cowboys, the big move for the Cowboys is Christian Parker. I said this before. It is Christian Parker. And so this is one of the reasons why I keep saying the Cowboys, they need to get Christian Parker all the help they can get him. All the help they can get him. I mean, they need to get him a linebacker in this free agency period. They need to hit on every last one of those picks in the draft. I mean, the Cowboys may even need something super duper to happen on draft night. I'm just telling y'all right now, when you put this kind of stock into a coach, man, you better go out there and get him the players. You better go out there and get him the players, because nobody has seen Christian Parker. I brought this up long ago. Nobody's seen Christian Parker call one play. Nobody. I said this before. Nobody really knows what Christian Parker's defense is going to look like. We've seen him as the defensive back coach as it applies to other coaches, but we haven't seen his defense. So we're going to talk about that inside of this Jerry Jones thing. And so again, inside of that, there's a crazy Stephen A. Smith reaction that is going on as it applies to the George Pickens situation. So it is so much in here. These are the continuations from yesterday, and then I got a few more subjects from the day that I'm going to fit in here all within about 2 to 2.5 hours. There is a lot to talk about, Cowboy fans, and we're going to talk about it. Let's get this quick roll call in, and then we're going to talk Cowboys. Man, it's crazy out there in them Cowboy streets. All right, I'm trying to make sure my internet speed, has been some crazy stuff going on, been some buffering. So I think we got the buffering issue fixed. We're going to get it rocking today. What's going on, Dominique Pittman? What's going on? True Texan, howdy, partner. What's going on? Big Mouse Dog, what up? Renan Zanguini. Big Dal 8604, what up? Big Rubowski, what up? Yes, sir. Afternoon cold brew. Yeah, I got mine too. It's called S. Pellegrino. Y'all ever seen that S. Pellegrino? It's that fancy water right here. Yeah, it's that fancy water right there. Carbonated, all kinds of minerals. S. Pellegrino. No, it is not an I did not show an alcoholic beverage. That is that S. Pellegrino. What's going on, Thomas Goldray? World champion, 88. What's up? What's up, Mike? What up, Mike's D's? What's going on? Carl Williams. David J. What's going on? 5 points to the star. Davion Wallace. Mo Eddie. Demetrius Noel. What up? Angie the Rebel Chicks. What's going on, Angie? Brandon Mack. What up? Good to see you. Phyllis. What's going on? T. Martin. What's going on? Yeah, it's time to talk Cowboys. Timothy Johnson. What's going on with you? Good to see you. I'm with you, Dominique. All I want to hear is Jerry has signed GP. Let's go. What's going on, Rolando Rodriguez? Lost in translation, what's going on? Good to see everybody. Q-Tip, what's going on? Donald Moore. Yeah, it's overhyped. They don't get him. We need it's overhyped if they don't get him what he needs. There are ways to do this every year. Always something with the Cowboys. Yeah. They got to get him what he needs. No doubt about it. What's going on, JCT Slice? I've been seeing that article about I've been seeing that article about Jalen Hurts is crazy. He said no, he's not being overhyped. He's good. I think he's good. If he can be good enough to just make our defense passable. Man, I think it's going to be more than passable to get us where we need to go, though. What up, Rodney Evans? Good to see you. What up, RT? I got to make sure I get you on the phone. What's going on? Brian Worley, what's going on? Good to see you. CGW, what's going on? All right, Dallas 88. Let's get a couple more, then we're going to get started. Mark Davis, what's up with you? All right. Hey, man, you know what, Rumbowski? Man, I used to drink them Topo Chicos all the time. But that is Pellegrino, man. That's premium right there, Big Rumbowski. Man, that's like one of the healthiest waters you can drink out there. So I switched over to that S. Pellegrino. But again, Big Rumbowski says we don't even know if Parker will end up being worse than Eberflus. And so this is one of the things I've been talking about before as it applies to Matt Eberflus. Matt Eberflus. I mean Christian Parker. What's going on, Newhouse fam? Good to see you. AKA Let's Go Cheap. We got to be careful with this Christian Parker thing. I mean, the Cowboys really got to get Christian Parker. I'm going to tell you, if we're really being honest, I talked about this before. If I was Matt Eberflus's lawyer, we got to really be honest about Matt Eberflus. Matt Eberflus was bad. We're not going to debate whether or not he was bad. He was bad. But let's also be honest. The Cowboys really didn't get him the players that he needed. They really didn't get him the players that he needed. And I really think what happened with Matt Eberflus is that he thought he had a whole year. He thought he was going to get a year of just a gutter ball year where he knew he didn't have the players. And so the following year, they were going to get him the players. I believe that's what was either implied or told to Matt Eberflus. But I think the biggest mistake the Cowboys made when Matt Eberflus was hiring Matt Eberflus. That was the biggest mistake with Matt Eberflus. But the other big mistake with Matt Eberflus was that they never really got Matt Eberflus the players. He didn't last long enough to get the players. Man, let me tell you something about great players. When you got great players, they'll make mediocre coaching look good. Great players will make okay, mediocre, good. Great players can make average coaches look better than they are. The problem is, but great coaching makes not only good players great players elite. great players, a great coach can be the difference between you and the Super Bowl. But nevertheless, man, we never even saw Matt Eberflus in Dallas with players. And I'm telling you right now, this is why San Francisco hired Matt Eberflus. I believe they wrote the Dallas Cowboys thing off as he never had the players. I really do. I think they wrote it off as, and you got to think about another thing. I think they wrote it off too as, well, Jerry Jones did trade Michael Parsons right before the season started. I think people out there actually gave Matt Eberflus that benefit of the doubt, and that's why he's back with the San Francisco 49ers. But again, the biggest mistake the Cowboys made was hiring Matt Eberflus. The second biggest mistake they made with hiring Matt Eberflus is that, to be honest, they didn't give him the players. Eberflus had a lot of leftover players. The Cowboys carried, I want y'all to think about what the Cowboys did. With 3 different coaches. 3 different coaches had to deal with the leftover players of Dan Quinn. 3 coaches in a row. Was it 2 in a row? Was it 2, 3? Okay, maybe it's 2. Let me make sure. Mike Zimmer. So we had 2 in a row. 2 coaches in a row that had the Dan Quinn leftover players. Mike Zimmer had a lot of the leftover Dan Quinn players. And I give Zim a lot of credit, man. Zim did the best that he could. He really did. Zim did the best that he could. But it just wasn't good enough. It was not good enough. Then you bring in Matt Eberflus. What did you do? You still had a lot of the same leftover players from Dan Quinn. A lot of the same leftover players. Not to mention you got 4 defensive coordinators in 5 years. It was almost a no-win situation. And so, again, and it's not about giving Matt Eberflus a pass, Sister Angie. It's not about giving him a pass. 2 things can be true. Matt Eberflus could be awful. But the Cowboys didn't do that man no favors. Both of those things are true. Both of those things are true. The Cowboys didn't give that man, they didn't do that man any favors. And I believe that Matt Eberflus was in here walking around like he had all the time in the world. He was walking around like somebody told him, you don't have the players this year. We'll give you the players next year. Coach up what you have. It seems like he was told that. Because Matt Eberflus had to be one of the most stubborn coaches you'll ever see in your life. But again, we can say anything we want to say about Matt Eberflus. The defense was bad. The defense was bad the year before he got here. It absolutely was. It was bad the year before he got here. It just looked better bad. It was bad. There's no other way of saying it. The Cowboys defense before Matt Eberflus was bad. It was just better bad, but it was bad. It was bad. And so at the end of the day, you got to get, and again, Angie, Angie, I find it to be strange. He was the linebacker whisperer until he got to Dallas. Why was he the linebacker whisperer until he got to Dallas? Nowhere Matt Eberflus ever stopped before Dallas did anybody say that Matt Eberflus was not the linebacker whisperer, because that's what they called him until he got to Dallas. You want to know why they stopped calling him the linebacker whisperer before? You want to know why they stopped calling him the linebacker whisperer when he got to Dallas? Let's be honest. We can say anything we want to, but let's be honest. The man had Kenneth Murray Jr. as a linebacker. He had Demarion Overshown coming off an injury as a linebacker. He had Shamar James. He had Maurice Leofow. I mean, come on. Can we be honest? Again, it don't have to be either or. Our problem is sometimes we want it to be either or. It can be both. The Dallas Cowboys didn't do that man any favors. And Matt Eberflus was stubborn and awful. Two things can be true. It don't have to be either or. Two things can be true. Because I'm telling you this. If the Cowboys would have brought Christian Parker in last year, Christian Parker with what the Cowboys had, how much better would Christian Parker have been? If the Cowboys want Christian Parker to be everything that they're saying they want him to be, they're going to have to give him a lot more than what he has right now. They got to give him more. Hey, Aussie, I'm going to push back again. Do y'all not understand how good Jack Sanborn was before he got to Dallas? Do y'all not realize how good Jack Sanborn was before he got to Dallas? The Chicago media was blown away that the Chicago Bears didn't tender Jack Sanborn. Sanborn was good before he came to Dallas. He was absolutely, or at least that's what everybody was saying about Jack Sanborn. They said, hey, everybody was talking about how good Sanborn was before he came to Dallas. I'm just telling you, two things can be true. I'm not debating that Matt Eberflus wasn't stubborn, because I was one of the first people that said, danger, Will Robinson. I was one of the first people that said, Matt Eberflus's bend, don't break defense is going to be a problem for the Cowboys. I can pull the video up right now. When everybody was touting and singing the praises of Matt Eberflus, watch this. People were singing the praises of Matt Eberflus before he ever coached a down. Before he ever coached a down, there were a lot of people, and even if they were not singing his praises, they were not talking about how bad he was. They weren't talking about he was terrible. They were not saying any of those things about Matt Eberflus. So, two things can be true. Why did it all come to a head when he came to Dallas? Why did it all come to a head? Why all of a sudden does Matt Eberflus have one of his worst defensive outputs when he gets to Dallas? Because I'm telling you, I brought this up before anybody brought it up. Go check Matt Eberflus's record, his defensive ranks before he came to Dallas. Why were his defensive rankings not bad before he got to Dallas? Why not? Why not? Why did it get here and the Bucs? Why did it get to Dallas and all of a sudden the bottom fell out? Newhouse fam, I'm sorry. I just can't necessarily agree with because he wasn't good. You need players. You need players. Absolutely every single time. You need players. I don't know of coaches. I don't know of great coaches who took the Bad News Bears to the Super Bowl. There may be some exceptions, but that's not the rule. All I'm saying is two things can be true. Two things can be absolutely true. And the part that I'm leaning toward, if you're not hearing what I'm telling you, I'm not defending Matt Eberflus. What I'm telling you is Matt Eberflus, just like Christian Parker, needs players. Needs players. Absolutely needs players. And again, Matt Eberflus, two things can be true. If we're being honest, Matt Eberflus didn't have players. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks that. Matt Eberflus didn't have players. I'm not telling you he wasn't bad. I was one of the first one that pointed out the problem. But one of the problems I pointed out with Matt Eberflus is he needs the players. He needs the players. I'm laughing. Let me give you this argument. So there was an argument last year. People were all in their feelings. And then we're going to get to Jerry Jones because we're going to revisit some of this stuff I'm talking about. There was an argument last year that Matt Eberflus was using a scheme that was not conducive to the players that he had. And I think we could all agree with that to a degree. And I really think that Matt Eberflus kind of walked through the door. Because I'm telling you, no one's told me this. But it seemed like to me that Matt Eberflus thought he had more time. Matt Eberflus didn't coach with a sense of urgency. Matt Eberflus was coaching like, I don't have the players. I'm going to run 96% zone because these players aren't smart enough. I'm going to run 96% zone, and I'm going to just see if I can buy my time until next season. Because once we get to the offseason, we'll be able to do some more trades. There'll be another draft, and we'll be able to get this team or the personnel a lot better. But unfortunately, he was so bad. And I'm just telling you two things can be true. Jerry Jones was admitting some of he's come out and admitted some of this. I don't think we understand what they did to this defense. You trade Jordan Lewis. You trade Jordan Lewis. You got a bunch of players that are injured that you're depending upon to come back, be healthy before the season starts, and play. Then you got players like Trayvon Diggs, who was arguing that, man, we got to play more man because we can't play zone. So I just want y'all to think about this. Trayvon Diggs couldn't even dream of playing in a Christian Parker system, I believe. Because Christian Parker doesn't run a lot of man. It actually requires a lot of zone and rotational pieces, or the rotation that he talks about. I don't think Diggs could play in that. So we were basically asking defensive coordinators to come in here and play with a lot of leftover players from the Dan Quinn era. Christian Parker, on the other hand, Christian Parker is going to get the luxury in some sense, even though he's still got a few leftover players. They're turning over. They're turning over more players with Christian Parker walking in the building. And so Christian Parker isn't going to have to deal with some of the stuff that Matt Eberflus is dealing with. Because if you have not heard the things that Christian Parker has been saying, Christian Parker has basically been saying some of the same things that we've said. Christian Parker said, you need smart players. Why do you think he was saying they need smart players? Because some of the players the Cowboys had were not smart. Donovan Wilson comes to mind. We're still questioning Malik Hooker. We had Traquez Bridges at cornerback. Man, we've had Kalen Carson back there. I mean, we were doing all kinds of things back there. I believe this was not only on Matt Eberflus, it was on Jerry also. And Jerry admitted as much. Jerry didn't do either what he was supposed to do. It wasn't just Matt Eberflus. Some of this was players. And Christian Parker was talking about that. Because that's, think about it, because Christian Parker, that's one of the reasons why they were turning over some of these players. Because I'm sure Christian Parker looked at them and said, they're not smart players. So I'm saying all that to say simply, Cowboys got to get this man players. Period. You got to get this man players. And I think they've done a good job. They gotten Rashawn Gary. They gotten him Jalen Thompson. They got him Kobe Durant. They got him some good pieces in there. They got P.J. Locke, Otito Obonya. They got Jonathan Bullard. I mean, I believe they're getting him some good pieces. But I want y'all to understand something about where Christian Parker came from. And I don't think people are taking this into account enough. Christian Parker comes from defenses that have absolute game breakers. Absolute game breakers on those teams, y'all. Christian Parker, whether we realize it or not, he doesn't come from teams that had mediocre players. Christian Parker comes from teams that had game breakers. Denver Broncos, game breakers. Green Bay Packers, game breakers. Philadelphia Eagles, game breakers. I'm talking about game breakers, game changers. This man comes from players. I'm telling you right now, Christian Parker needs players. That's all I'm telling you. I'm just telling us he's going to need players. Let's not just say that it was all Matt Eberflus. No, some of these players were not good. Some of these players for the Cowboys were not good. Christian Parker needs not only good players, he needs some great players too. Because I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. They need to try to get some defenses similar to where he came from. Christian Parker comes from game-changing, game-breaking defenses. Let me give you an example of what I'm saying. Because I'm telling y'all, we are putting a lot of stock in Christian Parker. I am too. I am. I really think he's going to be good. But I also think that if you want him to be what you want him to be, then you got to give him the players. You have got to give this man the players. You can have all the X's and O's you want to. But if you ain't got the Jimmys and Joes, it is not going to work. It is not going to work. I don't think people realize some of the teams that Christian Parker has been on. I really don't think people understand. I want you to think about, just look at this for a second. Let me show you Christian Parker's history. Christian Parker hasn't called one defense. He hasn't been in charge of no drafts. He's done none of those things. He's been the defensive quality control coach, defensive backs coach, defensive passing game coordinator coach. But I want you to look at this. Because, see, this is where we start falling and tripping over ourselves. You got to look at the teams that this man comes from. You got to look at the teams. Look at the teams that he comes from. He comes from the 2020 Green Bay Packers. They were 13-3. They were 13-3. They went to the playoffs. They won one. They lost one. You think those players were good or bad? What do you think? The man had players on that team. He went to the Broncos. 2021, they were 7-10. 2021, they were 7-10. It looks like he goes back to the Green Bay Packers, and guess what the Green Bay Packers do? They go 13-4. He goes to the Denver Broncos, 2022, 5-12, 2023, 8-9. He's not even the coordinator. But he goes to the Eagles. They're 14-3. They're 14-3, and then they're 11-6. They had players. That 2024 Eagles team was loaded to the hilt with players on defense. They had players. All I'm telling us is we got to realize Christian Parker's success. We don't know what his scheme is yet. We know what the schemes are that he comes from. We don't know exactly what he's going to run yet. We don't know. We don't know. So at the end of the day, I can tell you this. He needs players. Because when you look at the successful teams that he was on, they had defensive players. They absolutely did. And so this is why, again, when you are putting the kind of stock into Christian Parker, and again, so now we're going to listen to Jerry Jones, because they're going to ask Jerry Jones this very question about Christian Parker being the superstar. I think it's Clarence Hill's going to ask this question. You know, if he's the superstar pick of the whole offseason. Because I'll be honest with you, I kind of alluded to the same thing. Christian Parker is absolutely the biggest acquisition of the Cowboys defense this year. He's the biggest acquisition. Because we're depending upon Christian Parker to turn around a lot of these players. Appreciate you, Mark Davis. Yes, sir. He said, I'm going to show love every time I tune in. The best YouTube channel on YouTube running. Appreciate you. Appreciate the support. Rombowski said yes, but one must remember that Bland, talking about Bland in his first two seasons, he benefited from an aggressive pass rush. Exactly. You know, Matt Eberflus will never admit it explicitly, even though he kind of alluded to it. They really kicked the legs from up under Matt Eberflus when they traded Michael Parsons at the last minute. And again, Rombowski, let me capitalize on something you said. He benefited from an aggressive pass rush up front under DQ and led by Micah, then got to play covering the slot a lot of times too. So, Rombowski, let's think about the kind of defense that Dan Quinn runs. I used to call it the renegade defense. I mean, Dan Quinn has a very aggressive way of playing. Get to the quarterback, get to the ball, cause turnovers. And Dan Quinn's defenses, they're all made to play with a lead. Dan Quinn, when he was with the Cowboys, if he got behind, the game was over. His defenses were not made to play from behind. They're made to play with a lead. Because when he gets the lead, he smells blood and he just sends blitz after blitz after blitz after blitz. That's Dan Quinn. That type of football doesn't really require the kind of thinking that we may think that it does. That type of defense actually requires athleticism. And so what Dan Quinn defense depended on was a lot of athleticism per se. But when you start looking at a Matt Eberflus defense before he got to Dallas, when you start looking at a Christian Parker defense, it depends on athleticism too, because that's always a point. But it also depends upon players that can process plays and make the right decisions. And so again, that's why I'm saying, we got to understand, man, Christian Parker, he's never called a play. He's a rookie defensive coordinator. I mean, he didn't even pick the players on the defenses that he came from. He didn't even pick those players. He coached one part of the defense. And so now we're saying we want Christian Parker to come here, turn our whole defense around. I think that he can. Don't get me wrong. I think that he can. I just say we need to look at the kind of players that he had on those teams. And we need to go get him those doggone players. That's what I'm saying. Get the man the players. He's got to have the players. I like what the Cowboys have done, but I think they need to do more. And I think they're going to do more. It sounds like they're leaning towards getting a linebacker in the trade before the draft. I'm thinking that linebacker is going to be Jordan Brooks. I think Jordan Brooks really helps push the defense more toward what Christian Parker is wanting. Because he had great defensive tackle play in the places that he was. So you got him Rashawn Gary. If you can get him another bona fide player, a guy who's not coming off of an injury. I mean, I'm sorry. I just think the Cowboys need to be approaching this offseason like Donovan Ezeraku ain't going to be ready. That's how I would be approaching it. I would be approaching this like Donovan Ezeraku is not going to be ready. I would be ready in case Donovan Ezeraku isn't ready. I'm telling him. I'm getting this man all the players I can get him. If I'm the Cowboys, I'm getting him all the players I can get him. I want him to hit the ground running. I absolutely do. I think that Christian Parker, from everything I'm hearing, some of the things I've heard him say, some of the things I've seen, I think this man is going to be absolutely incredible with the right players. What's up, Miss Matrix? What's up, Queen? What's up, Brandon Cup? All right. So let's run this thing back on Jerry Jones real quick. Jerry Jones is going to be, this is some of the things they're going to be asking Jerry Jones. They're going to be asking Jerry Jones some of this stuff. Because I said this before. I do think that Christian Parker is their biggest acquisition of the offseason so far. There's no player that they have picked up that has made me go, wow. Now, that is a game breaker player. I think Rashawn Gary is going to be able to be that player because of the players around him. But I'm talking about a player that can win no matter what. A player that can win no matter what. And so we're going to see what happens. I still think if the Cowboys were to get Jordan Brooks, I think Jordan Brooks is that player. Jordan Brooks is a player that can win on his own no matter what anybody is doing. Demarion Overshown can be that player if he stays healthy. Jalen Thompson, I believe, can be that player. We just got to make sure those players are healthy. And I think we need to get a couple of more players around him. But I still say the way the Cowboys are talking about Christian Parker, man, get him a lot more if you want him to be as successful as you say you want him to be.
Anticipate going into the draft with the current linebacker room you have?
No, we're looking to improve there personnel-wise, and are continuing to do so right now before the draft, as well as the potential in the draft. So we want to get better there with personnel. We've been trying very much to make some trades. They haven't worked out for us there, but that won't deter us from getting better there.
Why is the trade market being do you anticipate the trade market being the most likely scenario for linebacker?
Do that again.
Do you anticipate the trade market being the most likely?
Angie, you all good. You all good, my sister.
I don't know.
Keep
don't know.
going.
I don't want to
keep going.
Anticipate here.
Would you be comfortable with a rookie at your green dot middle linebacker if you didn't get in the trade market?
Yes. A big yes.
What makes you feel optimistic?
Now, this is an issue. Angie brought this up earlier. So they just asked Jerry if he would be comfortable with a rookie playing green dot. It's got to be a rookie that has already kind of been a green dot in college. I know they've been talking about a couple of guys out there that are like that. But I just think you're asking a lot from rookies to come in Because Jerry's already said there's not going to be any redshirt year. So I just think you're asking a lot for a rookie to come in and be the green dot. I mean, he better be off the doggone chain gang. That's all I'm telling you. He better be off the doggone chain gang.
About what you guys have done in the offseason, that you guys will be a better team than you were last year?
We've addressed our defense significantly. Going in, I thought that if we can pick that up, sustain.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Newhouse. I'm with you. I'm struggling with that one. Yeah. Exactly, D-Block. We need a game change on defense. D-Block. Everywhere Christian Parker has been, where they won, they had game changers. I mean, game breakers. Absolute game breakers. Game changers. They had that. And so, Cowboys got to get that. They got to get that. I think Jalen Thompson can be one of them. I think Kobe Durant can be one of them. I think Rashawn Gary can be one of them. But I'm talking about not somebody we think, somebody that we know. They come in and they just game break. Quentin Williams is going to be one of them too. Quentin Williams is one of them. But they need one at that linebacker position. Somebody that just breaks the game. JCT, he says the Eagles winning the Super Bowl may have been the worst thing to happen to Jalen Hurts because people overrated him. His team started to get frustrated with his underperforming this year. He got overhyped. You know what? I don't think it was the worst thing that happened to Jalen Hurts. I don't think it's the worst thing that happened to Jalen Hurts. I just think Jalen Hurts is what he is. Jalen Hurts is what he's always been. Jalen Hurts is a running quarterback whose primary strength is his run game. Not only is it his run game, but he needs a run game with him. And he also needs a very strong defense. But, everybody needs a strong defense. But Jalen Hurts is what he is. And so the issue is the Super Bowl isn't the problem. The problem is they can't seem to, after they lost Kellen Moore, and it was funny because Nisi brought this up last year. Yeah, after Kellen Moore left, it's amazing how people were trying to down talk Kellen Moore. Well, it seemed like he needed Kellen Moore. Because Kellen Moore was able to adjust his game plan. He adjusted his game plan so that he could thrive in the way that he thrived. And again, understand what happened to Jalen Hurts last year. Jalen Hurts didn't change. The Eagles changed. Saquon Barkley ran for almost 2,000 yards in the Super Bowl season. Saquon Barkley was a shell of himself last year. Jalen Hurts didn't change. It was the same old Jalen Hurts. It was the same Jalen Hurts. And so, of course, Jalen Hurts has won a couple of, he's won a couple of Super Bowls, and he feels like he's this, that, and the other. I understand it. I just think Jalen Hurts is just saying, I need you to call the game I need it the way I need it to be called. Because if not, I can't be successful. Man, if you're going to be asking Jalen Hurts to play like Dak Prescott, throw the ball like Dak Prescott, you can forget about it. He ain't even close to Dak Prescott. The only thing Jalen Hurts does better than Dak Prescott is run the ball. That's it. So you got to get him back. You just got to get him back to what he was. But again, there it is, D-Block. You hit it right on the head. He's RB3. No doubt about it. He's RB3. You can't put Hurts in a situation to where he's got to play quarterback. Dak Prescott used to run the ball a lot. They took Dak Prescott's legs away from him. Dak Prescott came back is being one of the best quarterbacks in the league now. Top 3. You take Jalen Hurts' legs away from him, man, you might as well take him out of the league. Man, Jalen Hurts without his legs is nothing. Jalen Hurts without a run game is nothing. Ain't no way. J. Lou from the 903, what up? J. Lou, I've been hearing the same thing about George Pickens. We're going to get to that in just a moment. Miss Major said, yeah, G, this is my jam right here. Let's talk about Jalen rubs hands. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I hear you. Hey, Jalen Hurts is what it is. Hey, Miss Matrix, you hit it right on the head again. The RPO, and that's it. And again, Miss Matrix, if that's what he is, that's what he is. If that's what he is, that's what he is. And I think what he's saying is, don't try to make me into something that I'm not. I want y'all to think about why Dak Prescott had so much success last year, even though Dak Prescott has been having success every single year almost. But Dak's going to be even better this year. Because when they put Dak under center with that play action, that's where Dak is a killer, is in play action. And they're going to continue to do that. And so, you got to keep a player in his habitat. Got to keep him in their habitat. And so the problem with Jalen Hurts, try to take him out of his habitat. I understand where he's coming from. You can't ask him to be Dak Prescott. You can't ask him to be that great leader. You can't ask him to throw the ball 30, 35 times. You can't ask him to throw tight window throws. You can't ask Jalen Hurts to read the cover two, the things that they call the Dak Prescott killer, which couldn't kill Dak Prescott. Those things killed Jalen Hurts. So you can't ask him. You can't ask Jalen to be what he's not. And so when they start asking Jalen to be what he's not, he's showing you that that's not what he is. That's not what he is. It is what it is at the end of the day.
The level that we played at on offense last year, always looking to improve, specifically with the depth of our roster, special teams, the fact that we have no reason to think we can't be as good as we were last year on special teams. With all of that in mind, then when you are almost dead last, you can anticipate some improvement, and got pretty good odds you'll get some.
So, is there a benefit besides financials, Jerry, to the 18th game to the players in your mind?
Well, I think it's a better application of their careers and talent. Less preseason.
Now, I want you to hear something that Jerry did in this interview, and he's going to do this on another question too. But people need to understand something about Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is not only the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones is the ambassador and the driving force behind the commercial success of the NFL. The NFL is basically running off of Jerry Jones's thesis paper. It's running off of the NFL being this huge conglomerate. It's all about the entertainment, the reach of the game. It's about more money, more money, more money. It's about being the most dominant sport in the world. It's about being the most dominant sport in the world. And so when Jerry Jones is sitting here saying that the 18th game, it's going to put more money in the pockets of the players. But I also think it's going to make some of the players a little bit more vulnerable. But again, one of the things they're talking about doing with the 18 games, which is crazy to me, is that they're basically saying that the starters, everybody has to miss at least one game. So the maximum amount of games that any player can play is 17 games. But again, I'm just saying that because this is Jerry again towing the line for the NFL, because at the end of the day, this is all about making money.
More playing in games that have the right balance of the financial rewards as well as exposure.
Jerry, you obviously have been a big part of the NFL's booming business. We're
Yep.
talking about the 18th
He's
game,
the architect.
Thanksgiving Eve. We're talking about teams going to Melbourne. Yeah.
Roster. Has there been talks about packaging those picks and moving them around to maybe acquire more capital or get a better player higher?
I've looked at that mirror a lot about how to go up and down and trade and do those kinds of things, and absolutely will entertain improving or an in-draft read on what gives us a better chance to get another player and still have our pick in the red meat of top players. Now that has a on the board aspect to it, but it's very doable. And yes, you should, when you've got the kind of assets or the kind of ammunition we've got in this draft, you should look at all machinations. It's one thing to sit here right now. It's another thing to sit and look at it 3 hours into the draft.
Yep.
And see what you've got there. And so all of that is a possibility. We've had our best work. We had 4 and 5 times the draft capital back in the early years that I was involved in NFL of an average team. And we missed on some, we missed on some trades, but we nailed a few. The main thing is because we had that much capital, we were probably cutting and shooting more at that particular time. And we certainly had some success during that time. Probably nothing affects in the draft, this is an obvious statement, but nothing, no amount of skill, no amount of knowledge can beat having a lot of draft capital, having a lot of picks. That'll win most of the time.
Vegas.
Now, I want y'all to hear what Jerry is alluding to. And I said this last week. Man, let me tell you something. The Raiders can tell me anything they want to. The Cleveland Browns can tell me anything they want to. They can tell me they're not going to trade Max Crosby. They can tell me they're not going to trade Myles Garrett. Wait until draft night. Wait until draft night. If they make it past the draft, I'll believe they're not going to trade those players. But draft night, man, when people get on that board, when people start seeing opportunities to get from up under a contract, when they see an opportunity to get younger, they see an opportunity to get more draft picks. This is what the Cowboys are counting on. They're counting on some team getting desperate, wanting one of those first-round picks and willing to trade somebody. I'm going to tell y'all right now, I've already told you about Jordan Brooks. Everybody's been saying that Jordan Brooks is a day 2 trade. Man, Jordan Brooks has been so good. Man, I could see a team giving up a first-round pick for Jordan Brooks. Not a high first-round pick, but maybe a late-round first-round pick. I mean, Jordan Brooks is really good. Now, if I were the Cowboys, if I were to trade, let's say, the number 20 pick for Jordan Brooks, if I were to trade that number 20 pick for Jordan Brooks, I would have to make sure that I was able to maybe trade back, get that other team's first, and then also get a second-round pick in return. Because I wouldn't just give a straight-across trade like that. But I don't think the Cowboys are going to be in love with those picks. I don't. I don't think they're going to be in love with those picks. I think if the Cowboys see the opportunity, they're going to trade one of those picks. They're going to trade back. And I see them trading back. I'm not going to be surprised if they trade back at 12 and 20. Unless Mansour Delane is there. A lot of people are saying that Caleb Downs could be there. And then people are now saying that Baines Jr., I'm struggling with 2 of the 3 of those. But a lot of people are saying they may be there for the Cowboys at number 12. So we'll see how that goes. Yes, CGW, man, draft night 3 weeks away. A lot of things are going to be revealed on draft night. And this is why I'm saying, man, I think it's going to be anything goes on draft night. I'm just not going to be surprised at anything the Cowboys do. I'm not going to be shocked at anything the Cowboys do, because just listening to Jerry Jones, they know they need a defense. I don't think there's no doubt in their minds. They know they need to get Christian Parker more. They need to get him better players. I don't think there's any doubt in their mind. Any doubt in their mind. Yeah, Demetrius Noel, you said the NFL, they're trying to get to 3 they will never get 3.3 billion people to watch the Super Bowl. When Brazil won the 2002 World Cup, half the entire world watched it. Well, I'll tell you this, Demetrius. They're trying their best to get there. They are trying their best to get there. Brandon said, I agree, Izzy might not be ready, so why not bring back Clowney at veteran minimum? He led the league in sacks and don't have to start. Yeah, I mean, I'd bring Jadeveon Clowney back. Superstar status said, don't forget those guys can be moved at the trade deadline during the season as well. Yeah, no doubt about it. Yep. Only issue is, though, superstar status, Cowboys won't have the same kind of draft capital that they have right now. B Minor, he says the miscommunication of the defense was a problem. Yeah, and I think some of that B Minor was players that are just not smart because they kept saying that every single week. And again, Angie, I also did notice, I've talked about it before, actually the Cowboys had some very bad drafts up under Mike McCarthy. Very bad drafts. Ron Hanna said, I'm starting to see this unfold on draft night. Exactly. I think this is what the Cowboys are banking on, Ron Hanna. They're banking on players getting moved on draft night. What's going on, Wicked? I'm not going to be surprised if we see trades on day 1 and day 2 by the Cowboys. Superstar Status says, no way I would give up that Miami pick for 20 for Brooks. I would give them that 3rd rounder. I think that's what the Cowboys may try to do, Superstar Status. But I'm telling you, I think Jordan Brooks is better than a 3rd round pick. I really do. I think Jordan Brooks is better than a 3rd round pick. I say Jordan Brooks is a minimum 2nd round pick. A minimum 2nd round pick. Yadig said, whoever we get to go along with this free agency, we come and watch. And again, they're not done in free agency. Yadig. I think the Cowboys have their eyes set on Jordan Brooks. I think the issue with Jordan Brooks is what is it going to take for him to get him? Because I think he's the best player available out there as far as linebackers go. I mean, this guy's crazy. He's absolutely crazy with it. Superstar said, move future draft capital for those guys who were in win now mode. Yeah. JCT, he said, I think Dallas is thinking about going. They're going 3-4. But they're also going to run. We got to keep in our mind, they're not only going to run 3-4. They're going to run 3-4. They're going to run 5-2. They're going to run 4-3. So they're going to run a combination of things. And so again, I mean, I really think we're going to have to really, when this season begins, we're going to have to give Christian Parker some grace as he figures out what works best for him. Because it's one thing to say what you're going to do, and it's another thing to do it, and you never did it. You know, one of the things, for example, when I used to be in the corporate world, you get this hotshot salesperson that comes in. They were the best salesperson in their region where they came from. Well, the problem is they're not bringing those people with them. And so when they come in, it takes them a little bit of time to see what works with what they have now. So this is why I'm saying, as it applies to Christian Parker, they got to get him the best that they can. They got to give him as much as they can. Superstar said the reason why I said that, though, G, is because you still would have to re-sign him as well. Yeah. Yeah, I get it, though. I definitely get what you're saying. Davion Wallace, I think Jordan Brooks is going to be that. I think he's going to be that linebacker. I am him. Appreciate that super chat. What up, I am him? I'm giving Miami that 3rd and Sam Williams. Get up out of here. You know what? I am him. I was surprised the Cowboys brought Sam Williams back. I was really surprised. But hey, man, if Miami would take Sam Williams, I'd give Sam Williams up in a heartbeat. Wouldn't even blink. JCT said, do we have a big enough? Yeah, I think we do. Yeah, Otito Ogbonnia is what, 339, 340? Yeah, they got a big enough. They're big enough in the middle. All right, let's check out some more Jerry.
Vegas is going to get another Super Bowl. Inglewood's also going to get another Super Bowl. How come Dallas hasn't hosted a second Super Bowl?
I think you should.
Now, we're going to skip past this. But again, Jerry don't want another Super Bowl right now. People got to realize, man, Jerry is the spokesperson of the league. Jerry wants these other teams to get those Super Bowls. Jerry is one of these people, while he loves the Cowboys, and I said this last year, One of the issues with Jerry Jones is he's the owner of the Cowboys, but he's one of the biggest spokespersons for the NFL. Jerry isn't the normal owner. The normal owner focuses on their team. Jerry focuses on the Cowboys and the NFL. It's a difference. And so some of the decisions that Jerry makes, Jerry doesn't just make decisions for the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry makes decisions for the NFL. Absolute. But Jerry got to get back focused on the Cowboys. And he's doing a better job this year. But he's got, and we're going to see in the draft how honed in he is. Rodney Evans said, Uncle G, we had dumb players. Hey, Christian Parker alluded to it. Christian Parker said you need smart players. Why do we think he was saying that? Luis Ortiz. I think one of Jerry's problems is I think he does want the Super Bowl, but Jerry also wants the NFL to be successful. Jerry is the owner that focuses the most on that. Everyone else is focusing on their team. Jerry is focusing on the entire NFL. He prides himself on this stuff.
And you do see
Such a long time between when you hosted the first one and where we are right now.
in January, February, when you got one of those, that helps. But that doesn't keep a lot of great Super Bowls from being had all over this country. One of the greatest ones I ever went to was Detroit. And that has not exactly beaches up there.
Getting back to the Cowboys, the Ducks have been quacking on your defense since the end of the season. You told us the last time we talked you're going to be more aggressive. You also talked about busting the budget. I know you've improved the team because you couldn't help but improve the team. Have you done enough? Do you feel you've done enough? Have you been aggressive? Have you busted the budget? Can you speak to those things?
We've been aggressive, and we have, relatively speaking, we've stepped up the financial requirements for what.
Dominique Pittman, you make a great comment. This is why I'm saying. Dominique Pittman says, Brooks on this team, your defense changes drastically. No doubt, bro. Jordan, I'm telling you, man, Jordan Brooks is worth more than a third. If the Cowboys get Jordan Brooks for a third, it's the trade of the century. Jordan Brooks for a third, man, let's go. Man, I would love for the Cowboys to get Jordan Brooks for a third. Man, it is an absolute steal to get Jordan Brooks for a third. There is no doubt about it.
We have done.
But again, y'all better keep this in your mind. Y'all better keep this in your mind. One, I believe the Cowboys got one more move in them. And I think that move is Jordan Brooks. At least that's who I believe they're trying to get. Jordan Brooks. The Cowboys, I believe, are trying to get Jordan Brooks. Because Jordan Brooks will definitely drastically change your team. And you're going to have to trade and sign him. Number two, I believe the bust the budget moves. I could be wrong. But I'm going to tell you what the bust the budget moves are going to be. Jordan Brooks, Brandon Aubrey, George Pickens. I think those are the bust the budget moves. They're going to bust the budget when they go get Jordan Brooks, and then they'll extend George Pickens and Brandon Aubrey. Unless something goes haywire. We're going to see. Because I do believe the Cowboys are, what's going on? Hey, Freddie, what up, Freddie? Ain't nothing but a G thing, yes, sir. Ron Hanna, exactly. Jerry needs to focus on his team. Again, I'm just telling you, Jerry is like an ambassador for the league. Jerry is the reason why a lot of this success is coming monetarily wise. Jerry needs to take a break for a couple of years and just focus on the team, which I do believe he's trying to do this year. Rumbowski said when a wager opens up on the prediction market on what position would Jerry take at number 12, he said, I'm putting money on offensive line. Hey, Rumbowski, a lot of people may not realize this. Brian Schottenheimer's already put out into the atmosphere. This is kind of like a make or break season. This is a make or break season for one Tyler Guyton. Man, let me tell y'all something. I would not be shocked if the Cowboys did get one of those offensive linemen if they're there. I just wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if you get an opportunity to get a top 5 tackle, man, I wouldn't be surprised.
We may have exceeded, busted, whatever you want to call it, but we got some more, and so we're not through.
You got some more to do.
Jerry, you look at the linebackers you pursued, then you weren't able to ultimately land in free agency. They signed with the Raiders
Hey, that's Calvin Watkins back there with that popsicle-colored lanyard.
and the Panthers. Does the Cowboys still carry the...
Yeah, definitely CJW. We're gonna that draft week, man. We're gonna do some. Yeah, we definitely gonna be focused hard on the draft. Then that's where we'll probably do a couple of our those mock drafts on draft week, maybe the day before the draft and the day of course, too. It's gonna be very exciting. I'm gonna have a party that day, no doubt about it.
lower in your mind to get guys? Does the star matter to them as much now, or do you think it's just the cash? What players get cash back?
Well, I don't think we've lost any luster, if you, which was your question. No, I don't think that is the case. I do think that there are a lot of nuances that can influence players' movement. A lot of them is they go where they're comfortable with the coaching staff that have created a situation there you're competing against. We've gotten a player or two because we have the coach that the player wanted to be coached by, frankly. So those are things that can also influence that player. But we thought we were close on at least two situations. Matter of fact, I probably left wherever I was thinking we had something. But that's the way this thing goes, and that's no problem. I love it.
You brought up the coaching staff, and certainly Shotty called CP Christian Parker a superstar. Might CP or Christian Parker be the biggest move you made this offseason?
Well, he certainly is right there as.
Now, Angie, are you listening to this? We're going to listen to some of Brian Schottenheimer tomorrow. But Angie, did you hear that? Brian Schottenheimer has called Christian Parker a superstar. I have no problem with them calling him a superstar. All I need them to do is make sure you get him a superstar, maybe one superstar player. You got to get him the players because the expectations. Man, when you put the term superstar on a coach, Brian's got to be a little bit careful because, it sounds like, hey, this is my coach now. I'm cool with it being your coach, but don't set him up for failure. Don't put those expectations so high. Expectations are the robber of joy. They are the robber of joy. Dominic Pittman, appreciate the super chat, my brother. He said, I'm going back to cussing if they draft O-line. I wouldn't, I'm just telling you. I wouldn't be surprised. But I think they're going defense. I really do. I think they're going to trade backwards. That's where I am. Now, they're saying they're not afraid to trade up. I say the only way you trade up is that that you can sure enough get that player that you want. Rombowski said Guyton will find more time on the trainer's table than on the field, just like the previous seasons. He bet not. They've already put him on notice. What's up, Mark Vasquez? Yeah. Kevin said that's true. We shouldn't go all out after one season. They made our quarterback go 4 seasons and had more of a resume. I mean, Cowboys got. Derek Rose said, "Gee, I agree. The Cowboys will make one more move before or after the draft. They have more moves than X-Lax. Yeah, they're going to make another move. And I'm telling you, I think the move they're trying to make is Jordan Brooks. But, of course, the Dolphins know the Cowboys need a linebacker, so the Dolphins are saying, nah, we don't want that third. And the Cowboys are saying, yeah, but you need to get rid – you need to shake Jordan Brooks, and you could use the draft capital to help rebuild your team. So we're going to see who says chicken first. Lynn said, G, are you going to do a Let's Talk Cowboys? Oh, yeah, we having a party, bro. No doubt about it. CGW said, Mr. G, we have 8 picks. I think we're going to wind up with 9 or 10. I really do. I think we're going to wind up with 9 or 10 because if the player that you want is not there at 12, I don't think you reach. I say you trade back. I say you trade back if you can't get the player that you want. Eddie said, G, you know Shotty tell a lie. Man, Shotty be spreading it on thick. Real Mo, what up? What's going on, Real Mo Crypto? He said, I'm truly sick and tired of Dallas drafting O-line. How many good lines have been wasted over the years? Please just don't. Hey, I'm telling you. They're already talking about Tyler Guyton, man. We're gonna check out Brian Schottenheimer tomorrow. I'll probably pull out the highlights of the things I want to talk about from Brian. But Brian has already put it out there. Mark Vasquez, he said, I'm fine trading down. I think we're gonna trade down. I just think it makes sense if none of those players like Mansour Delane, Caleb Downs, Bain Jr., I mean, if none of those top 6 defensive players are there and Jeremiah Love, because I'm telling y'all right now, if Jeremiah Love is there, there is no way the Cowboys are passing on Jeremiah Love. There's no way. There's no way they're passing on Jeremiah Love. He's too dynamic. He's too dynamic. What's going on, Lisa Worley?
A contender. He is, and he's impressive. He was impressive in his interviews, and he's been impressive to work with. It's a great, it's a win-win. We appreciate all he's bringing to the table from where he is. But by the way, I can say that about several of the other position coaches as well.
Lisa Worley.
But he has a great chance to look good, because he's not coming in with a Super Bowl defense. And should he end up with one, then he'll look like one of the greatest defensive-minded coaches there is. So it's nice. I can tell you firsthand, because we dug big holes when I first got in the NFL. Being at the bottom and then getting your shovel out and dig down more, dig deeper, and then coming out of that, it's a big positive to come out of that, or the perception of it.
Does it come with pressure, though, to also have that situation for a first-time defensive coordinator?
Well, if he lives with pressure and we live people, and that's a given. But it's some of the best pressure you'll ever feel is to have it on your back and gotta go.
Superstar status, I'm not a gambler. But I'm willing to bet if Jeremiah Love is there at 12, there ain't no way the Cowboys are passing on Jeremiah Love at number 12. I'm telling you right now, there's no way. I got a play for Jeremiah Love. Matter of fact, he's on the list for today. Boy, Jeremiah Love is incredible. There's no way. I don't care what you're doing. You don't pass on Jeremiah Love. This dude's incredible.
And all of that and the competition that we have in the NFL, all of it makes it, when you have those wins, really one of the most exciting times.
How do you feel about how the Ravens handled that Max Crosby trade situation?
All right, watch this. Jerry's about to toe the line. Listen to him toe the line. Check him out.
And is that a bad look for the league, having that trade not go through?
Really, it's pretty simple for me. There's no hidden item there. You've got to pass physical, and so you have to pass physical.
See, but this is Jerry towing the line. Y'all want to know why this is Jerry towing the line? Ian Rappaport posted way back in February that Max Crosby would not pass anyone's physical during the trade period. Nobody's. And contrary to all the lies that were told, there was nothing that the Ravens saw in the charts that was not there before they agreed to make that trade. The only thing that was there that was not there before they made that trade was Trey Hendrickson. That's what was not there. That's what was not there. Max Crosby, they're lying. Even Dr. Cooper. Now it came out, Dr. Cooper didn't even say anything significant. They didn't even go by anything he necessarily said significant. And I'm not buying even Jerry Jones. I'm willing to bet if I was a gambling man. I'm willing to bet had the Cowboys won the trade of Max Crosby, Max Crosby would still be with the Cowboys. And the reason why he would be with the Cowboys, watch this. They would have said that Dr. Cooper cleared it. I guarantee you they'd have said that. Even the other teams out there, these other teams, there's a reason why. The Raiders are still reporting, and I don't think they're making it up. There are teams still out there inquiring about Max Crosby. How much do y'all want to bet? It's not teams like the Miami Dolphins who are in a rebuild mode. It's not teams. It's teams who are in win now mode. Man, everybody knows Max Crosby still has about 3 years left in them knees. Minimum 3 years left in those knees. These people are lying. Jerry, I understand what he's doing. I've already explained to y'all before this. Jerry is an ambassador of the NFL. Jerry isn't going to say anything. Jerry isn't going to say anything that's going to be detrimental. Kevin Edwards, I have heard nothing. This stuff that people was putting online was a lie. That stuff that they put online was not the knees of one, were not the knees of one Max Crosby, from my understanding. It has come out, Tom Pelissero, other people have backed up this report. They're all reporting this. The Ravens absolutely lied. There was nothing new on Max Crosby's charts. There was nothing that said that Max Crosby couldn't play for the next 3 years. They're talking long term. Explain to me what long term is. I care nothing about 2029 because I wouldn't sign him further than 2029. I'd sign him to a 4-year deal, but I'm getting out of that thing in 2028 at the latest. I'm not signing Max Crosby to no 5-year deal. I'm signing him to a 3-year deal tops. It's a 4-year with 3 years tops. I'm getting out of the deal. I basically probably would have had him for 2 years in the grand scheme of things. I'm telling you right now, had the Eagles got Max Crosby, they'd have kept him. The Bears got Max Crosby, they'd have kept him. The Patriots, the Cowboys, and the reason why I know they would have kept him is because it was already communicated to every team that was looking at Max Crosby. He's not going to pass anybody's physical. He was 1 week off of crutches when he went to the Baltimore Ravens. Everybody knew this man wasn't going to pass a physical. It was well documented. Baltimore Ravens, I'm just telling you what they did. Trey Hendrickson, cheaper, and they kept their 2 first-round picks. That's all this is. The Baltimore Ravens said we would rather go with Trey Hendrickson. Don't nobody even know what Trey Hendrickson is going to be. Nobody knows what he's going to be with the Baltimore Ravens. You'll get a Max. You don't want Max Crosby coming off an injury, but you'll take Trey Hendrickson coming off an injury. I'm not believing it. And again, I understand what Jerry is doing. Jerry is the ambassador of the NFL. He's towing the line. I understand it. They don't want to say that the tampering, the legal tampering, the oxymoron of the legal tampering, nothing, it wasn't a blunder what the Ravens did, and it didn't mess up teams who actually wanted Max Crosby. I don't believe none of it, but I understand what Jerry's doing.
And we've never completed an agreement until the player passes the physical. That implies that yours being your doctors.
So, question: Did Jalen Smith pass the physical? What physical did he pass? So hey, I really have to know. I mean, what physical did he pass? Oh, because Dr. Cooper did the surgery? Stop it. I'm not buying this stuff, man. But I get it. He's the ambassador.
Trainers, everybody involved get to take a look at it. That goes with the territory. So we would have basically looked at the same conditions with the physical. And as you know, we were in on making an offer for him. So he would have come to Dallas, and we'll all just guess what would have happened.
Would you revisit that?
What?
Would you revisit that in the summer if that was to get brought back up again?
Again, I don't anticipate standing here right now revisiting that situation. I don't anticipate it.
What you mean, Jerry? You don't anticipate? What you mean? What you mean? I mean, it's a yes or a no. Is it not a yes or a no? Because based on what was seen on the physical, what was seen on the physical, I mean, he shouldn't pass anybody's physical even later. Stop it, Jerry. Now, you know, hey, I know what you're doing. Y'all tell me, is it a yes or a no? If the man has degenerative knee disease or it was a bad deal for the Ravens, why would you revisit it? It's a no. Shouldn't it be a sound no, everybody? Yeah. I hear you.
Is it possible? Yes.
Do you still need pass rush help?
What?
Do you still need pass rush help?
And knows what he said. Jerry said yes.
Visiting that situation, I don't anticipate it. Is it possible? Yes.
Do you still need pass rush help?
What?
Do you still need pass rush help?
Again, we've got to get it from some that we didn't have last year, from some of the players that we didn't have, plus some of the players that we've acquired in offseason. The idea that that's not a premium place to be, especially for the draft, then it would be one of our top areas of interest is just the rush, the pressure.
You talked many times this offseason about looking in the mirror and doing things differently. Certainly, you've had a sense of urgency every year, for the last 30 years.
Boy, I bet they be wanting to say some bad stuff to Clarence Hill, boy. Clarence Hill be digging in on these questions, don't he? Boy, I bet they be hot at Clarence Hill, boy.
What has been different about this year's sense of urgency? How has it manifested differently? How does it look differently for you?
Oh, I think we've made a tangible, not how it looks. We've made a tangible restructuring of our defense. And we not only have done it with the direct coaching, we're going to have done it with the direct participants.
Now, Angie, I want you to notice something. Have y'all not noticed how Jerry When Jerry knows the answer, for example, you get less of them ofs. I mean, he's very concise. But when Jerry is kind of like trying to be deceptive in a sense, this is when you start getting all that stuff, that crazy, because how hard was it for Jerry to say, hey, Jerry, you're going to revisit this in the summer? Is it possible? Why not just say yes?
The players, and we're going to have done it with the schemes. And so I think it does address. I don't look at what we need to be addressing
I see you, Ed.
and getting better at as just a last year
What up, Kello?
issue. I think it's one that some of the things have been lingering around in our defense for several years. Every defense has its holes. There's no such thing. But some of the areas that have really been accentuated over the last year, we've addressed some of them. Strong run game, okay, inside. We addressed some of them. But those are real departures from where we've been over the last 15, 20 years.
You look at some states that have added a millionaire's tax and may add it. How much of an advantage in your mind is it to be in a state where there is no state income tax in terms of getting lowering players and keeping players?
Yeah. Well, I think when you look at the makeup of what football is right around Texas,
that millionaire tax, man, let me tell you something. If I was a player, you couldn't get me to play for those teams. There's no way. You never get me to play for those teams. I don't care where they are in the draft. I'm telling my agent to tell those teams, not playing for you. Not playing for any team with a millionaire tax. I'm not playing. I'm not playing for you. I'm not doing it.
Have always thought that was a real advantage to be Dallas with the
Hill Jr. from Texas. He looking pretty good.
Great talent supply there is in the amateur sport in football around Texas. Number one. Number two, I think it's an advantage for anybody, whether it's football or not. I would say to anybody, any place, boy, look at as a young, the equivalent of a player's age, look at Texas. That's a great future in my mind, as much as any place in the world.
Yeah.
I would say look at Texas. Apart from the Cowboys, one of the things that I feel the most thankful for is the fact that Cowboys brought me to Texas. And I've spent these years down in Texas, and I've gotten to go with what makes Texas go.
Yeah.
And it's an outstanding opportunity. The tax thing, we have since the beginning of time pointed out that you can take the same equivalent salary in Texas and go home with more money than you can many other states.
Now, I mentioned this last week. If y'all don't remember, this is why I believe George Pickens is going to stay in Dallas. This is why I believe George is going to stay in Dallas. Why would George, let's just say for the sake of an argument, what if Sean McVay went after George Pickens? Sean McVay says, I'm going to cut Devontae Adams, or however you're going to do it. But I'm going to bring in George Pickens. George Pickens would make less money, making more money for the Los Angeles Rams, leaving Dallas. I mean, this has got to be absolutely a bargaining chip now as states are implementing the millionaire tax. I'm telling you, you couldn't get me to play for one of those teams. You could not get me to play for one of those teams. I'm not going. I would fight tooth and nail. No, I'm not going to one of those teams. George Pickens will make more money than Jackson Smith and Jigba. Staying in Dallas making $36 million. Why? Why would you leave? Why would you leave? There's no way I'm going. If I have a choice, I'll take less money. I'll take less money staying in Texas. Even with the economy the way it is right now, it's still cheaper playing in Dallas. I'm not playing on those other teams. I would not do it. CJW said this team is one of the most hated organizations in football, no doubt about it. Lisa said, she said Chris Bell from Louisville is good. Well, that's my homeboy. That's where I'm from. Yeah. Hey, Lisa, we're going to have options. David, hey, let me tell you something. You wouldn't have to tell me twice on that, what Jerry can do for you off the field. You wouldn't have to tell me twice. What up, Michael Hiller? Nah, you wouldn't have to tell me twice. You wouldn't. And I'm telling us, man, this now is going to become more of a bargaining chip for the Cowboys. I see exactly where Jerry is going. Texas is one of the best places that you can play football. Texas is one of the best places you can play football. I'm gonna tell you now. Let's just say I had a son that was one of the top players in the country. He's one of the top players in the country in high school. Guess what I'm doing? If I'm living in California, I'm moving right out of California. I'm moving right down here to Texas, and I would let my son finish his last year or two down here in Texas, dominate, and make sure we ain't going to none of those states with those millionaire taxes. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. And so, Jerry, man, this is a huge bargaining chip that they probably are going to be able to talk to George Pickens and his agent about.
And that's big. And yes, and don't think I haven't worn that advantage out in talking with agents and players.
Yeah.
On the state website for this.
I bet y'all Osa Odigizua is sick. Do y'all realize Osa Odigizua took a team-friendly deal and now he finna go out to San Francisco? Man, they about to rip that. Man, they about to rip that team-friendly deal. They about to take all kinds of money from this man. Oh, ain't no way. I know why he was crying with Brian Schottenheimer. Man, you could have traded me anywhere. You could have traded me anywhere but San Francisco. You couldn't have traded me to the Houston Texans. Come on, man. Man, this dude done took a pay cut and now he going to. That's why you better get your money. Angie, you're not lying to everybody coming to Texas. They come to Texas in groves. You ain't lying. Yep, and the traffic is horrible. People come here, can't even drive.
Yeah.
Jerry, why was this the time to transition from a 4-3 defense to a 3-4, even if you'll have other packages? And what does it take to successfully make that?
Anybody know who this young lady is?
We've made a conscious decision to be a blend of the equivalent of the 3-4. It won't be a pure 3-4.
Yeah, okay.
And that is, you can say that's with the times too. There's got to be flexibility. But it's not new to me from Bill Parcells to just throughout my time in sport and even going back in college. The 3-4 concept can give you a better run. Support. And the question is, can that outside guy do a little pass covering, cover a little space, plus give you the pressure on the outside? That's always been the big thing. The nine, they call one of them a 9 technique. And when you see one that can play the 9, that's be there, get some pressure, and on the outside, slide out in that flat and to cover that flat for you. That's a rare dude. He's important, and it's hard to do.
Hey, Jerry, the rule amendment that passed regarding instant replay for the replacement officials, do you see that as a potential first step to have more input from New York with replay overall, regardless of if the officials are?
I'm not going to comment on anything to do with that because it could be viewed as negotiation. So I'm going to be real simple. Yes.
Man, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something about these referees that they don't realize that, man, y'all ever seen Minister Society? When they brought old boy in for questioning, and then he started going in circles, and he said, you know, you done blanked up. Man, these referees better be real careful. These referees better be extremely careful with what they're doing. The NFL has been, I don't know if they've been wanting to do it or bucking to do it, but there may be a need to do it for the NFL. Man, even with the referees the NFL has, they've been struggling with some calls. Man, you mess around and let AI get involved in calling penalties for the NFL. You mess around and let AI get involved. I could referee. I mean, I could referee if you let AI probably get involved. I could see where refereeing is going to go more to quick replays, things upstairs. It's going to go more towards that. Man, these referees, I think they're playing a dangerous game. I think they're playing a dangerous game. And I think Jerry Jones, he can say whatever. Jerry said it could be looked at as a negotiation tactic. No, Jerry just said outright, y'all may be the thing that ushers us into the AI, more upstairs views of the officiating crew. That a lot of the decisions may come from more upstairs. These referees are playing a dangerous game. Because the last time they had some leverage, they absolutely had some leverage the last time because the technology isn't what it wasn't what it is now. Man, this technology now, this technology is so good now. Hey, man. Hey, man. Don't be playing around with nothing where this technology is involved. I mean, we already got AI. There's already AI cowboy content creator channels out there. Man, you got to be on your game. And don't be out there playing around. This technology today is no joke. This technology is no joke, man. It'll put you out of a job. So, man, Jerry ain't playing. Jerry is not playing. With this technology, you could absolutely afford this year. I mean, you could absolutely afford to go with part-time refs. Man, I believe they're picking I believe they are picking a real sticky time to start trying to do this type of stuff. A real sticky time.
Good question.
How confident are you? How confident are you in the replay apparatus and what needs to happen there to improve that aspect of the process?
Yeah. If you look at some of the technology that has...
See? I hadn't even heard this. I'm telling you, man, the technology, it's too good. You got to be careful, man. The technology is too good to be jacking around. I mean, you're really in a field. You're really in a field that you better be careful. Man, I tell you, Drake Campbell, I appreciate it. You said, hey, I can't replace you, G. Hey, I'm telling you, Drake Campbell, in a field where personality is important. You know, we got a lot. I believe we got some more time for people that, you know, you are the product in a sense. But man, when you're talking about something to where you could be taking the place of technologically, man, oof. Boy. Man, these referees, boy, they playing with fall, not fire. They playing with fall, as we say back in the hood. Boy, they playing with fall right now. They playing with fall, bro. Yeah, Brandon Mack said if AI gets involved, there's going to be more penalties called. It might be a flag on every play. The only reason I disagree on AI is AI not missing nothing. Now, Brandon, notice what I said, though. I don't think they'll let the AI get involved in every single play. I think they're going to be smarter than that. Where I think they'll let the AI get involved is in some of the more controversial plays. I think they'll let them get... Let's think about the simple stuff. Put something inside of the football. I think the USFL is already doing some similar technology. Put something inside of the football and make sure the down measurements are all accurate. I mean, the camera system. I mean, it can measure everything within inches. I mean, there are so many things that you will be able to use with that AI stuff. Man, I'm just telling you, this technology is a monster. It's a monster. Real estate vet said, be careful what you wish for. Yeah. Missed calls. And real estate, people have said that missed calls are a part of the game. Well, you keep playing around talking about you want to be a full-time ref because Rambowski made a point. A lot of y'all, I don't know if y'all know that these referees are kind of prominent people out there in their communities. They're judges, they're lawyers, and things of that nature. Well, what they are wanting to do is they're wanting to keep their full-time jobs and also be full-time for the NFL. And the NFL is saying, oh, heck no. Heck no, we're not letting you do that. So, exactly, Kevin Ellis, they've already had the censors in the football because one of the things I was explaining to my wife is that if you get a football at the stadium, a player throws it in the stadium. I didn't know this. If they throw a football into the stands, they don't let you take that football out of the stadium. They replace that football with another football. I didn't even know that. But again, man, they playing a dangerous game. I'm just telling us. Sometimes you usher in these types of things. They're playing a dangerous game.
Has evolved and some of the practical use of that technology.
Yeah.
Then you'd feel pretty good about improving.
Hold on a second. Y'all don't see. Let me see if I can freeze this.
And so
y'all don't see this grin that Jerry has on his face. We used to call this when I was growing up. I mean, the curse word used to be used. But you ever heard when somebody say, yeah, man, they got a boo-boo eating grin? Y'all ever heard that, but they use the other word? Y'all ain't noticed this boo-boo eating grin that Jerry got on his face? Jerry is talking directly to these referees and basically saying that keep playing. Keep playing. This technology will take you out of here.
Some of the practical use of that technology.
Look at that
then
smile.
You'd feel pretty good about improving the accuracy.
Yeah, improving the accuracy. Beyond human limitations. I'm just telling you. Look how he's smiling.
Of calls using the technology we have available.
Keep on playing. Keep playing with Jerry. Man, I done told y'all Jerry is an ambassador for the NFL. Jerry Jones, I guarantee you, is the only owner that's bold enough to make these kind of statements. He's the only owner bold enough to do it. Shoot, man, Jerry putting them on notice, man.
Today. And so while we all know we're looking to the future, we have to look at...
Miss Matrix, what'd you say? You said Jerry always got that grin. You said he always got that grin. Yeah. Pro card carrier, yeah, they got chips in them. That's why they won't let them take them out of the stadium. And from what my understanding is, they've admitted as much because they collect data from those footballs.
What's happened in the past, but some of this technology is really impressive. Consequently, I have a lot for our game in general. I'm talking about officiating, but I have a lot of hope for improving the entertainment value and, if you will, the accuracy involved when it comes to somebody making a judgment.
Jerry can say anything he want to. Jerry is talking directly to these referees. Jerry is talking directly to these referees. Jerry is talking directly to them. Shoot, man, Jerry. Boy, y'all killing me in the comments in here, man. What's going on, Angelines? They killing me in the comments in here. Boy, this man Dominique said Jerry gonna outlive us all. He got Dracula. Boy, Wicked said I'd be gritty too if I was a billionaire. Boy, you better stop playing. Boy, you better stop playing, boy. Shoot, Ronan the Voice. And Jerry might even make that argument, Ronan the Voice. Hey, I would have said Jerry caught it. Boy, they better stop playing. Shoot. Kevin Evans said Jerry gangster. Boy, better stop. Boy, better stop talking. They better stop playing with Jerry. Ed, you ain't lying. Jerry is talking like he's Steve Jobs. Better stop playing with this man. Shoot. Man, Michael Hilliard. Man, I can't believe nobody talking about this part. Man, Jerry out here dropping megaton bombs on these NFL referees. Man, Jerry straight up telling them, keep playing with me. Keep playing with me. Man, Jerry ain't playing, bro. Jerry ain't playing. I'm telling y'all right now, I guarantee you, they're sitting behind closed doors. As we speak, they have people behind closed doors. They already got, I guarantee you, they already got AI practicing on calling some of the games. Even if they're not going to tell us, I guarantee you they got AI in the background running analysis on these games in real time to see if he can keep up. Man, let me tell you something. Boy, these referees playing a dangerous game, man. Mr. Hay, 72 Javale said if I was worth $20.4 billion, I'd be grinning too. Shoot, I feel you, bro. Brandon, you said the Cowboys make it to the Super Bowl, which I believe they are. It's going to be the most watched game ever, just as big as the World Cup. Billions of fans. Well, I'll tell you this, Brandon Mack, they're trying to get it there. This is why they're doing these international games. They want to get it there. Andy said, hey, I can't break up fights on the field. The wrestler barely can. Oh, that's all they'll have them for. They'll just have them for the grunt work. That's all they'll have them for, Andy, just the grunt work. That's it. They keep playing. All they'll be doing is placing the ball where AI tell them to place the ball.
I think we're in for some great future days of getting better all the way around.
Yeah.
And we all think we can do a great job of zeroing in and training and looking for nuances to help the decision making regarding the calls on the field. We all think that. Everybody's been striving. That's nothing new to try to get better. But it's our job to put the incentives into place and demands in place to get better. Fans deserve that.
Jerry, you have 9 World Cup matches at your stadium. You're putting grass down. If your Cowboys player said, "Can you keep the grass at AT&T Stadium?" what would you tell them?
No, we have more flexibility with the way we handle our surface at the stadium. We have no belief
Ed, you said you'll
that
let
it's
them
any
fight.
safer to play on a grass or a turf.
Oh, boy.
We are ambiguous
boy,
as to
killing
the
me,
safety
boy.
of it. The turf, actually, like many things, improves the economics of being able to play this game. And our players are the biggest benefactor of all. they get the best benefit of when we do good things financially. The players are benefiting. So I'm working for you, baby. Okay, if you're a player. And so the combination of that, I'm very comfortable putting some grass down for soccer under regulations, and proud to be able to do it. But quickly getting that turf back out there to go about the other business of the stadium and the team.
How much more better do you think Dak and his offense can be in the second year of the shot?
You ask how much?
Yeah.
I would say better, and I think that what we've done on defense, as in all parts of the game, can help make the offense better. I think he could have had a better offense if we'd played better defense. So I think that's possible. There were times last year that just give me that, Dak, and I'll go to the upstairs smiling, because he played some great football last year, and we have every reason to think that with Shoddy and with what we're doing as a team, that Dak's best years are ahead.
Here we go.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
I told y'all last year, I'm going to tell y'all again. Dak Prescott is getting an extension from the Cowboys. I've been saying this. Dak Prescott's getting an extension from the Cowboys. I see it coming. They're going to extend Dak Prescott. Once they get this defense laid out the way they want it to, they're going to extend Dak Prescott. All right, I want to let you hear a couple of things real quick. From the other day. Let me see. Jordan Brooks just got a couple of quick hits. Again, they're saying that it's trending that the Cowboys are looking at Jordan Brooks. I want the Cowboys to end this trend and go ahead and get one Jordan Brooks. Go ahead and get Jordan Brooks. Please go get Jordan Brooks. It's trending out there. The Cowboys are going to pick him up. Hey, Brandy, what's going on? Good to see you. What's going on, Bama boy? Good to see you. Yeah, I'm telling you, though, man. Michael Smooth said, let them refs fool around and make some bad calls for some big games. Y'all going to see AI come into play more often. I mean, Jerry just spelled it out. I mean, Michael Hilliard, he's saying the same thing. I mean, hey, Jerry sent a very, very strong message to the referees. And did y'all notice anything about Jerry? What did I tell y'all about Jerry? You can always tell when Jerry is talking about something that he's very clear, concise, and pretty much telling the truth on. Did y'all notice when he's talking about them referees, you didn't get a lot of them uhs and ums? No, I'm telling you, you can clearly tell when Jerry is talking that talk. And Jerry was sending a strong message to those referees. I'm telling you right now. But I believe the Cowboys are seriously after Jordan Brooks. And I think they're trying to buy their time on this thing with Jordan Brooks because they don't want to appear to be desperate as it applies to the Miami Dolphins, because the more desperate you are, the more the draft status or more the trade status goes up for one Jordan Brooks. And so I've already told y'all, I think Jordan Brooks is probably worth more than a third. So if the Cowboys can get Jordan Brooks for a third-round pick for Oso Digizua, that'll be incredible. 72 Seville said, I told you you would turn me into a werewolf. Didn't take long. He said, I'm still worried about not caring about 2028. Man, I care nothing about 2028. I want the Cowboys to go get it now. Go get that bowl game now, no later than 2027. Go get it. And I think they're going to be in a position to get it. Angie, Oh, yeah, we all need Kirk Cousins agent. We all need Kirk Cousins agent. Kirk Cousins, and I told y'all that the Raiders were going to get Kirk Cousins. I don't know if y'all remember. I told you they were going to get Kirk Cousins. That was the plan. Pro Car Care said, gee, someone said that Jordan Brooks prefers not to play Mike linebacker. Okay, still get him. I still get him. Shoot, go get him. All right, and then we got the news the other day. Jamad McCoy, he decided to go out there. Jamad McCoy decided to go out there on his pro day and prove everybody wrong. Let me see. I can't remember if I talked about this the other day, but I'm going to play the video on this thing with Jamad McCoy. Jamad McCoy went out there and clowned. He went out there and straight clowned for his pro day. Miller. And I believe his draft stock just went through the roof. So the Cowboys going to have a hard time with that. Check this out. They're talking about
we're still going to call you that, Matt, and our GM, Mike Tannenbaum. Guys, we have been waiting for March 31st for a long time because today is a big day in Knoxville as top prospect Jamad McCoy worked out at Tennessee's pro day after missing all of the 2025 season due to an ACL tear suffered in January of last year. When healthy, McCoy has been excellent. In 2024, he ranked 5th in QBR allowed and contested nearly 60% of targets thrown against him as the primary defender. That was the highest rate in the SEC. About an hour ago, McCoy worked out, and how's this for showing out? 4.3740 as posted by the Tennessee official.
How are y'all feel about taking Jamad McCoy at 12?
There was also a strong vertical.
I'm still struggling.
A good day overall, Matt, for a player who felt like one of the mysteries in this year's draft class amongst guys we believed was going in the first round. So what do you make of this great pro day performance?
Yeah, it is a great pro day performance. 4.38 to show the explosion in the vertical and broad jump as well. And then to get out there and do positional drills, McCoy did everything today. And there was some question even this morning from NFL scouts. What would he actually do after sitting out at the combine? So this is a fantastic day for him to remind people with some late buzz that he was the top corner in this class and would have been, I think, the top corner in last year's class had he been drafted.
JCT said, hold on, I'm going to read that in a minute.
Injury in January was unfortunate, but what a way to rebound. And again, late buzz is better than early buzz. To remind general managers about 20 days before the NFL draft who you are, that you're healthy, I think that momentum is really going to help him out.
I'll be honest with you, I'm still struggling. I'm still struggling. Still struggling with this whole situation coming off those injuries. Cowboys do this oh so much. But, I mean, he looked very good in his pro day. It's just not enough for me. JCT said move Brooks around. Don't have to play just middle linebacker. Yeah, I would still get him. Put him also in outside linebacker packages. Oh, he'd be great. I'd get him. No doubt about it. Angel Eye said she 50-50. Brandon said, nah, 20. Yeah, exactly. You know, if you can get him in the later round, yeah, but I just can't. I can't do a number 12. Can't do a 12. Somebody else has got to be there. What's up, Blue Star? Blue Star said we like our guys. Bama Boy said, gee, take McCoy at 12. That he doesn't get injured. Remember, that's 2024 ACL. I know. Yeah. Yeah, Mose Logan, I'm with y'all. Just don't trust the injury. 72 Chevelle said, I would take it 20 if he's still there. And I think the Cowboys could trade back and still get him. He's another one of those players I think they could trade back and still get. Ron said, I don't know, but he sure solidified his stock, but I can't see us taking him given his injury history. I don't think so either. Let me see if Tankathon has updated his draft status. I know they had him at I think they actually had him pretty high though. Let me see here. Okay, so now he's at number 18. He was 17 last time I looked at this. It's number 18. But I think he's pretty much guaranteed that he's probably going in the first round to somebody's team. He's going in the first round, I believe. Yeah, I believe he's going in the first round. So, yeah, he definitely upped his draft stock. Also, too, let's look at this over here real quick. Let me see, Ruben Bain. I do think I let y'all hear about Ruben Bain the other day. They're talking about that Ruben Bain Jr. could be there for the Cowboys. Ruben Bain Jr. could be there. And I'm going to tell y'all this. I mean, I know they talking about this guy got crocodile arms or something like that. But I'll be honest with you. If Ruben Bain Jr. was there at 12, I just can't see the Cowboys not taking Ruben Bain Jr. I mean, people can say anything they want to say about they say anything they want to say about Ruben Bain Jr. But the thing with Ruben Bain Jr., man, is when you look at the tape. Yeah, when you look at the tape on this guy, man, it's incredible. The tape on Ruben Bain is crazy, man.
You think about is how long his arms are. Because when you get your hands inside like this, the pick offensive tackle, it doesn't matter. Right now, Bain's got power. And he goes power and takes his man down. Now, who cares how long anybody's arms are when you can come off in a 4-point stance like this and you can chop the arms down. Chop, chop, chop. Like, arm length is meaningless. He just chopped them down. Now he's on a path to take the quarterback down. Now, you want to see a difference in arm length? Crown Over has got almost 36-inch arms, 6 inches longer than Bain. His wingspan is 12 inches bigger than Bain. Watch this. Bam. Hands inside. All right? And look at the power. Walks him right back to the quarterback. The last thing you think about when you watch Ruben Bain play is how long his stinking arms are. What you see is this. Just power. Right? Like, that guy's down on all fours. Bain wins. All right? He gets the Mendoza. All right? And then sometimes you just got to roll up your sleeves and go to work. You just got to bend and turn the corner and just take down Mendoza on the other side of the field. Sometimes that pays off when you just have a relentless motor and power and just a whole lot of will to get to the quarterback.
Man, let me tell y'all something. I am not passing on Ruben Bain Jr. from the Cowboys. If Ruben Bain Jr. is there at 12, I'm telling you now, the Cowboys draft room is going to erupt.
When you watch Ruben Bain play,
I'm telling you now, Christian Parker will lose his mind if Ruben Bain Jr. is there at 12. And I think there is a good chance that, and I don't want to say there's a good chance, but I'm starting to lean more towards maybe there's a 60% chance that Ruben Bain Jr. could be there at number 12. And the reason why, I think I let y'all hear this the other day, but I want to play this back again because I'll be honest with you. I hope this is true. I hope this is true. Let's hear this again. This is from, what's this guy name? Gerald, guy used to play in the NFL. I'm sorry, I only keep up the Cowboys. But this is what he said.
Y'all can underestimate how much importance they putting on that boy arms being short. Every defensive line coach I've talked to, all my defensive line friends, they believe it's a problem.
Really? Oh.
His arms being short.
I wasn't expecting you to say that.
Yeah, I'm one of the only people that believe that you can coach him up to play it properly. You see, even seeing offensive linemen saying they would love to go against a guy like that. Separation is just so important.
Gerald, he was productive.
He was, but I'm saying, I'm watching him play. I'm talking to these defensive line coaches, and defensive line coaches don't like guys with short arms. It's just, it's too important of an attribute. So
I bet you the Cowboys will.
He might be there at 12. Y'all can underestimate how much importance they putting on that boy arms being short. Every defensive line coach I've talked to.
I hope it's true. I don't know about y'all, but I hope it's true. I hope it's true what they're saying. I hope he's there, because I'm telling you right now, this dude gonna ball out, man. Ryan said, yeah, the only way they're not gonna do it is Jeremiah Love is there. Man, I'm telling you, I'm getting this guy if he's there. Because I don't think Jeremiah Love's gonna make it to 12. I mean, that would be crazy to me. I got something to show you on Jeremiah Love here in just a second. There's no way Jeremiah Love makes it to 12. If Jeremiah Love makes it to the Cowboys at 12, the GM for those teams at numbers between 7 and 11, they need to be fired. This dude is too good. Brandon Mack said he would take Bain at 12. I would too. Mike T, what up? He said, I'll give the first pick this year, first year next year for Garrett, and 3 and 4 for Brooks, and have a nice day done. Man, I'd love them to get both of them. Yeah, I'm sorry. There you go. James Bowie, Gerald McCoy. Angie said little arms shouldn't matter when it's men out here with little shoe sizes. Oh, man. I'm telling you right now, if Bain Jr. is there at 12, the Cowboys are getting him. There's no way. There is no way they don't pick him up. Bama Boy said they said Spud Well was short too. Yeah, man. I don't think there's no way they don't get him. JCT said, I think Josh Allen's going to end up being the new face of the NFL. He's on like every commercial now. You're right. They want him to be the face of the NFL. Yeah, only problem is he can't win. Yeah, he can't win. Mose Logan said Big Q, Clark, and Bain and Gary would be nasty work. Oh, man. Man. Be incredible. I'm telling you, I'm hoping he's there. I'm absolutely hoping he's there. I hope they believe everything that's being said about Bain Jr. I'm hoping they believe it. I'm hoping they believe it. And let's see here. Yeah, I'm hoping they believe everything about him. But again, man, let me tell you something about this guy right here. When you look at Jeremiah Love, this kid is next. This kid is next level. Check him out. I mean, a lot of y'all who watch college football, y'all already seen this guy. This guy's next level, man. Watch this run. Nah, they're not passing that up, man. They're not passing that up. Yeah, they're not passing that up, guys. There's no way. Did I put that on the screen with Jeremiah Love? Maybe I was watching it by myself. Let me play that one more time. In case y'all didn't see it. Hold on. I think I did, but I'm just telling this, man. Jeremiah Love is there. It's over with, bro. Man, you can't teach this. This reminds me of Zeke, man, when Zeke came in this league. They're saying this dude is like, you not passing this dude up. I'm sorry. Man, that dude there at 12 Cowboys ain't passing him up. They ain't passing that dude up, man. So again, man, it's we're gonna see. Another quick hit. I did a video today about Jadeveon Clowney. Jadeveon Clowney basically begged the Cowboys to bring him back, and the Cowboys said no. I don't know if y'all seen this video of Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, he literally begged the Cowboys to bring him back, guys. Check this out.
Cowboys, especially your last game, that was a heck of a game, and for the whole season, per snap, one of the most productive rushers on the edge.
Oh man, it was great. I enjoyed Dallas, playing on prime time every week. It was great, great experience, man, and playing on Thanksgiving, Christmas was special for me. A lot of people watching, a lot of families showing up, and had a great time playing for Dallas.
Stephen Jones said at the NFL Scouting Combine that, hey, doors open, but they want to see the new defense coordinator, Christian Parker. How does he see everything? Anything with them, or is it kind of, for right now, just kind of status quo with the Cowboys?
Oh, yeah, it's whatever with me. Like I said, I done played in every scheme. Ain't no scheme I can't play in, 3-4 to 4-3, to whatever down scheme that you had.
There is no way that I would believe that Jadeveon Clowney cannot play in a 4-3. There's no way. Jadeveon Clowney has seen it all. He played really well for the Cowboys. I really believe the Cowboys, if they can get him back for the right price, I say bring him back. Because I don't think the Cowboys need to be fooling around. You know, hey, Donovan Ezraku is putting in work, but I still say you need some more. The depth is important.
I think I done proved that I can play in them all, and not just play in them, but also dominate in them schemes, and and do my job at a high level. And so, like I said, it don't matter where I end up, where I play at. Just know I'm coming to show you again and prove people wrong again.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, Jerry Jones got other plans. I didn't hear this in the interview, but Jerry Jones got other plans on this thing. He's like, nah. Jerry Jones, on the other hand, said, let's see. I didn't hear this during the interview, so there must have been some other parts of this interview.
More right than I am there. And so it's real hard when you look at how Clowney came on last year and the snaps he gave us. It's real hard not to have a place there for Clowney. But you can't have it all. You just can't have it all.
And I want you to follow. Jerry said you can't have it all. Why not? Why can't you have it all? Why? I'm telling us we don't realize how some of these teams have been winning the Super Bowl. The Philadelphia Eagles did have it all. They absolutely had it all. The Philadelphia Eagles had the best backfield in the game. They had Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. They had one of the best offensive lines in the game. Jalen Hurts with the tush push. Saquon Barkley running out of his mind for almost 2,000 yards. They had one of the top 5, top 6 wide receiver duos in the game. Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. They had Goddard at tight end. They had an all-star defense. Why can't you have it all, man? Yes, you can have it all. You just got to be willing to do what Howie Roseman does. Howie Roseman said, I don't look past this season too much. I want to win it all this season. When you think like I want to win it all this season, you can't have it all. You're willing to say I got to have it all at least for 2 seasons. You can have it all. Sean McVay has done the same thing. Yes, you can have it all. It's not a good way to think. I don't see why you can't bring back Clowney.
If things go right for us, we've already made a signing, we've made trades. We think that's the better way to go. And then, of course, we got the draft and could very easily answer some of that question.
You just want more size.
I think
Clowney can play in a 3-4. I don't see why he can't. If Ezraku can, why can't he? Yeah, defense is why we can't make playoffs because of the Joneses ran this team in the ground. They can get Clowney. I'm hoping that this is just, let's just see what the price is and see if he's still out there available on the market. 72 Zavell said, wake up with Clowney a whole offseason in camp, he will be a beast. I agree. I absolutely agree with that. I agree with that statement. But it looks like Jerry is saying we're not going to bring back Jadeveon Clowney, unfortunately. I was like, oh, man. Tatiana says she says she's ticked off, too, about it. I'm like, man. Yeah, Brandon Mack said, like you said, we need smart players, and Clowney would definitely help our younger players. Easy could use them. I say so, too. Yeah, JCT said he can play in 4-3 or 3-4. I would just have to bring him back. I really would. Jerry told us he don't think like that. I see. All right. So someone brought up another player that I caught a video of today. His name is Anthony Hill Jr. Man, this dude right here. This dude, Anthony Hill Jr., man, he nice too. Check him out. Man, this Anthony Hill Jr. dude out of Texas, boy, he nice too. Man, he nice too. Can play pass coverage. Man, he got some nice hands. Can tackle. I'm telling you now, man, the Cowboys got options. And you think about it, 72 Chevelle, Nakobe Dean is a smaller linebacker too. Yeah, he can play, man. Yeah, he can play. He definitely a disruptor. Yeah, he a playmaker. I wonder if he could play that nickelback position that the Cowboys are talking about. Rombowski, he said he wanted to go through the training camp this year. Yeah, I think what Jerry was talking about was the money, Rombowski. Yeah, he can play. He can play 72 Chevelle. Brandon Mack, this dude can play right here, man. This dude can play. Again, I wonder if he could play that nickelback they're talking about. He can play, man. Frank Lawrence, appreciate you. Yeah, man, that dude can play. Frank Lawrence, he said, gee, man, only one player is a lock to be star Jeremiah Love. He protects the quarterback, hurdles tacklers, executes screen plays, breaks 90-yard runs, scores touchdowns in the red zone, 6.9 yards per carry, 0 fumbles, 4.0 GPA. IQ guy, NFL playbook. Yeah, man. Yeah, he'd be great for the Cowboys. I don't care if you have extended Javonte Williams. I'm not letting Jeremiah Love get past me if he's there at 12. Yeah, True Texan. It sounds like to me that Jerry almost said he played himself out of a contract with the Cowboys. So nobody's picked him up yet. So we'll see what happens as this thing gets closer to the draft and gets actually beyond the draft. I also saw another quick hit here. Let's get another quick hit in. I also saw where somebody was saying that the Cowboys may be playing the Seattle Seahawks for the opening game of the season. Well, it looks like the Cowboys opening game. It looks like the Cowboys opening game, and this might have been April Fool's, so take this with a grain of salt. It was posted on April the 1st. I mean, people out there lying left and right on the April Fool's Day. But from what I saw, let's make sure what this reads like. I'm not sure if this is real, but they're saying that the Cowboys. Okay, I thought it was game one. No, it's not. It's the Rio de Janeiro game in Brazil. They're going to be playing the Baltimore Ravens. That'll be a good game. Be a good international game for the Cowboys. I never thought the Cowboys were going to play one of those international games, but here we are. What's going on, Ty Howard? Yeah, Hill Jr. could play multiple positions because he's physical and can cover, so the nickel is not out of the question. I'm just wondering if he could be that player. Hilliard said, gee, one thing I know, we will be devastating on defense. Man, you know what? I'm going to agree with you. Angie says she's not hyped yet. I hope Angie gets hyped as the season goes on, as we start putting the feet to the ground, and then we can really see what we're hoping is going to be in action. But I'm telling you, they've hyped up Christian Parker so much, and just what I've seen from him, I'm pretty excited, too, to see what this defense looks like with Christian Parker. It can go nowhere but up. It can go nowhere but up. All right, so let me hit you with another couple of quick hits before we get out of here. So it looks like some people are in their feelings about the comment that Jerry Jones made about George Pickens. I'll be honest with you, I didn't see anything there. It wasn't really a big deal. And maybe Jerry said this off the cuff. I can't remember him saying it in the interview that we listened to earlier. But it seems like that Jerry said that George
now the Cowboys
could make more money if he would make a deal without the agent. And Stephen A. Smith's reaction to this, and I might got the wrong one. Let me see. Okay, yeah, this is it. Stephen A. Smith, for no reason, loses his mind on this situation. Check this out.
They decided to franchise tag George Pickens after he led the team in receiving yards and touchdowns last year. However, Pickens was looking for more money, more time, as in a long-term deal. They still have time to get that done. So where do things stand? Well, here's Jerry Jones yesterday.
There's no issue with me with talking to agents. I need to do a better job of not getting, well, Daddy said I could have it. And him going to Mama and Mama saying, Daddy said I could have it. We've got to get on the same page, and I have something to do with that as well. It always works out. If he worked without an agent, he'd save a lot of money.
Do you anticipate going into...
With me.
So if he worked without an agent, he could save a lot of money with me. I'm not really sure what to make of that, but nonetheless, what's your reaction to Jerry Jones' comments in terms of George Pickens, Stephen A.?
I'm very disturbed by what Jerry Jones said. I'm going to call him. I'm going to go see him if I can, if he will allow me to, because I'm not comfortable with what words I just heard come out of Jerry Jones' mouth. Look at the reporters behind him. Look at their faces when you brought up Daddy coming to, well, yo, man, come on now. I mean, that's a very, very uncomfortable thing. I love me some Jerry Jones. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that's my guy. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That's incredibly uncomfortable to say. And I know what he meant in terms of a player talking to him and coming to him and saying, I want X, Y, and Z, and then going back to his agent, and then all of a sudden, you know what, it's a different ballgame. That's what he said about Micah Parsons. He had a conversation with Micah Parsons, and Micah Parsons said one thing to him, and then after going to his agent, David Mulugeta, he comes back with a different spin on it all, and Jerry Jones was really turned off about it. And to use his words, I don't play that bleep. That's what he said when he came on my radio show. Listen, at some point in time, Jerry has to pay attention to the fact that David Mulugeta is considered one of the best agents in the business. Mm-hmm. Let's get that out the way right now. This is not a slouch. This is not some knowledge.
I've made this point about David Mulugeta. I mean, a lot of people, they talk about he's one of the best in the business. I mean, yeah, he's the best in the business at getting money. But, I mean, some of these teams, man, they need to realize something, that he's not the best as in the talent that helps you win Super Bowls. I mean, that's something that people really need to look at with David Mulugeta. I mean, he gets this big money out of these teams, and the results don't be there. I mean, look at this issue with Christian Wilkins. Look at this issue with Deshaun Watson. I mean, there are so many of these David Mulugeta players, they're getting these big-time contracts. They're not really helping their team win Super Bowls. I mean, I know why Jerry is having a hard time dealing with this whole David Mulugeta issue. Because if Jerry's even looking at the way I've looked at it, a lot of these teams just aren't getting the returns on these big contracts that David Mulugeta is getting. Now, understand, a lot of these TV reporters, they have an ulterior motive because they use agents too. And of course they advocate for agents because agents get them the big time contracts. I mean, didn't Stephen A. Smith get $100+ million contract out of ESPN? You think he's gonna talk bad about agents? Heck no. I see exactly what he's doing.
This is not some dude that just came along and he's a hanger-on that a player trusts, and you're ill-equipped to negotiate a deal. David Mulugeta is recognized as one of the best agents in the world.
Yeah, at getting money.
Big time. And to talk about and to use daddy, mommy analogies and all of that stuff, and it comes across wrong, Jerry. It comes across wrong. And it's highly insensitive. You still, at the end of the day, if you're not going to negotiate with David Mulugeta, it also prompts another question. If you don't have a problem with agents, why does it appear as if David Mulugeta is the only agent that you're really, really not that interested in talking to? I haven't heard of any other players who've had a problem with their representation having a conversation with the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. If I'm wrong there, I apologize, but I haven't heard about it. We've heard about it with Micah Parsons. Now we're hearing about it with George Pickens. Two dudes represented by the same guy. Jerry Jones has some explaining to do in that regard. But when I talk to him, especially when I see him, that's a conversation that we're going to have, because I don't like the way he didn't have to do that. He could have.
Stephen A. Smith, I got news for you. Billionaires don't answer to millionaires. Bro, I mean, come on. Man, Stephen A., bro, you think you too important, bro. Jerry Jones don't answer to the NFL, bro. He ain't answering to you. And Jerry Jones didn't say anything negative about David Mulugeta. The analogy is not negative towards David Mulugeta. The analogy is just the analogy of how children sometimes will go and ask their father for something and there's a no, and then go ask their mama for something and then the mama says yes. Stop it, Stephen A. Smith. It's dumb. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a statement. I mean, it's just crazy work. And in the grand scheme of things, people don't realize something. Players can negotiate their deal without an agent. They can. Lamar Jackson doesn't have an agent. I mean, it's his mom. I think his mom's his agent. But there's other players out there. They negotiate deals without agents. And Jerry is just saying, man, he could make more money without an agent because the money, I guess the agent wouldn't get his cut. But again, man, when you look at these doggone athletes that David Mulugeta has on his roster, man, I mean, I guess if you're saying, hey, if you want money, go to David Mulugeta. But if I'm teams, man, I'm kind of leery. I'm kind of leery of these David Mulugeta clients because they get the big money, but they're not contributing to teams winning Super Bowls. I mean, Deshaun Watson is about to make $46 million this year. I mean, what in the world? I mean, this dude has got some of these humongous clients when you look at his client list. And then you ask yourself, where are they? I mean, Jordan Love, $55 million. I mean, what have they gotten out of Jordan Love? I mean, he gets these big contracts. Yeah. But, I mean, he's not, where's the production? Justin Fields, $20 million? What? I mean, I'm not mad at David Mulugeta doing his job, but I can see why Jerry Jones, because it's almost like he's trying to make it into that Jerry has a personal issue with David Mulugeta. I don't think Jerry has a personal issue with David Mulugeta as much as Jerry knows that David Mulugeta gets a lot of money out of teams for players that are not really producing. I mean, he's got Michael Parsons for $47 million. What happens? Michael Parsons goes out there and tears an ACL. Here's another team with a huge contract from David Mulugeta. And they're not going to see the return on it. We'll see what happens with Green Bay, but the first year, missed the return. They're talking about that Michael won't be back to game number 3 or 4. I don't think he'll be back to full form, maybe to mid-season. And then we're going to see what comes up then. But David Mulugeta, I don't think this is a race thing, black thing. I don't think it's any of that stuff. No. Jerry is looking at what I pointed out before. When you look at these humongous contracts, the clients that he has under these humongous contracts, they're not contributing to teams winning. I mean, Buda Baker, $18 million. Calvin Ridley, $23 million? Man, I'm telling you, I understand what this dude is. I mean, I understand where Jerry is with this thing with David Mulugeta. I understand where he is. And again, man, Stephen A. Smith, man, shut up. You're just overreacting, bro.
Came up with 1,000 different ways to make his point rather than doing it the way that he did.
So, and again, the devil's in the details. Did Jerry Jones tell a lie to say that George Pickens could make more without the agent? I mean, let's just say it like this. If Jerry Jones is going to pay George Pickens $36 million per season, does George Pickens make more money without an agent or with an agent? And he don't have to give the agent a cut. I don't know. You tell me. I mean, at the end of the day, you can get a lawyer to look over those contracts. And I know a lot of players, they don't want to do that because it's been standardized that you have agents. But you don't have to have agents to do your deals. Jerry, just because Jerry said that, doesn't mean that Jerry is wrong. He may be wrong in, as we're talking about principalities, he may be wrong from that perspective because somebody says that a young man wouldn't know enough about a contract to be able to get or do whatever that is. Well, Lamar Jackson and his mom did it. Lamar Jackson and his mom did it. And he got a huge contract. So I'm not buying. I understand what Jerry is saying. And understand where Jerry is coming from. Jerry is coming from a position of Jerry don't like these agents because even when you think about Todd France, I don't understand what Stephen A. Smith is talking about. We don't think that Jerry wasn't too happy with Todd France? What make you think that Jerry wasn't happy with Todd France? I mean, Dak Prescott signed the deal. Unprecedented. Signed the deal the day of the first game? Man, come on. Come on, man. I understand. This is Stephen A. Smith. I mean, it gets viewers. So I know what he's doing. Let's listen to Mad Dog, then I'm going to let you hear Michael Irvin react to this situation.
Did it.
Fair. I'm on the bigger Jerry Jones. I try to go one ear and out the other with him anyway, but Steve did an excellent job there with the verbiage. I would not sign Pickens to a long-term contract. That's me. They have CeeDee Lamb. You don't need 2 receivers making $40 million a year. You don't need Pickens got traded from Pittsburgh. We saw that Detroit game last year where things weren't going great, and Pickens was sort of in and out of the game, not mentally sharp, a game they had to win. I am not a huge Pickens fan. Now, he's great when he's focused and raring to go, but I don't think the Cowboys need 2 receivers making that kind of money. So if it was me, I would go a different direction. Sounds like they want to work out a long-term deal. They franchise tag him so he's going to make $28 million. That's a 1-year deal. If it was my team, I'm not paying a second receiver that kind of money. I'm not doing it.
Man, I'm glad it's not you. Yeah, I didn't see what Jerry said that, Miss Matrix. Jerry said he's proud of Dak for taking advantage of him. Sound like he loves France. I don't know if that sounds like he loves France as much as he loves, for whatever reason, Miss Matrix. Jerry Jones got an affinity for Dak Prescott after he signed that last contract. It sounds like to me it's more like he loves Dak Prescott. That he loves Dak Prescott as in he glad he got taken advantage of because Dak is still with the team. But I don't think he's too happy with athletes first in general. I really don't. Yeah, Mad Dog, I mean, I'm with you, Rico Jones. Mad Dog up in here tripping, man. I really don't think Jerry said anything that, I mean, it goes against the norm, but it's Jerry Jones. Angel, I said, I think we need to get ourselves ready to see GP whoop our butts this season. Oh, I hope not. Yeah, I hope not. But again, Mad Dog says that he don't think the Cowboys need George. And then I got another quick hit, and this was one of the crazy things I heard today about George Pickens. I mean, the George Pickens hate just won't stop, y'all. It won't stop. They're not going to stop the hate of George Pickens. Let me see here. Where's this take here that I got for George Pickens? I mean, this is absolutely insane. Let me let you hear Michael Irvin. I'm going to get this other take that I got about George Pickens. All right, check this out right here.
Hey, what's up, locker room?
This is Michael Irvin talking about
an incredible day. Remember yesterday when we did the live, I talked about the things that are coming, and I prepared us for this that was coming. And the pin trying to pin the Jerry Jones and the David Mulugeta with the George Pickens right in the middle. Now, when I say it's an incredible day, because I saw what I saw. It lets me know that I'm so connected to the source. You know, when I told you guys all of this, watch how they try to make everything. Today, my boy, who I love very much, on his show, called for an investigation into Jerry Jones. Stephen A. Smith called for an investigation into Jerry Jones by the NFL because he said in an interview that, you know, he likes working with players without the agent. You probably get more money out of him. Are you joking? And the way Jerry said it was, oh my God, you gotta go see the interview. And I know Stephen A. and Cam and Ryan and Jason Whitlock and all of the boys and Marcellus Wiley, all my boys, I don't have any issue with any of them. All of them are my boys, are in a real big Negro media battle. But Stephen A., I gotta call you out on that one. You know, we can't make something out of nothing with this one. You know
exactly.
What I mean? It's
exactly.
Simply, as your boy, I would tell you
it's nothing.
What you always say. The best way I can say this is, you know what? You need to be tested. That's what it is. That's what it is. You need to be tested.
Yeah, you need to be drug tested.
For saying something like that. But I know this is just the tip of the iceberg. And Jerry could have not dropped that last line. But it was too tempting, and he had to drop that last line. This will be interesting. This will be interesting. And it's become so cyclical. And each of them need each other. Don't fool yourselves. You know, this whole media market needs this.
Yep.
And Jerry feeds this.
Did I not say this at the opening of the show? Jerry is a walking headline. The media loves when Jerry speaks. Why? Because Jerry Jones can give them about 3 days of material that they can get some eyes glued to the 3 and 4 letter networks because no one listens to him otherwise. Nobody listens to him otherwise. So it's just nonsense. It's a nothing burger. It's a nothing burger.
The low times right now. Yeah. You spend talking about a team that did not make the playoffs. I guess that's why it's the most valuable franchise in all of professional sports. But the monster feeds itself because that's how you also stay on top with shows, by talking about the big Dallas Cowboys. So it's cyclical. And yes, Jerry is feeding into it. So to my Cowboy fans, just sit tight, ride this old wave. Don't get your stomach upset by ups and the downs and the little funny shots that'll be dropped. Just ride the wave. And I hope and pray that the wave don't become a wave where somehow George Pickens is floating away from us. I really do. Because this here, right now, is going to get pretty crazy, pretty interesting. And what makes me have peace about it, honestly, is did you see my boys hanging out together? I don't know who posted that pic. Them two sitting up there like that. Just made me feel some kind of way. Made me feel like those days me and Hopper were storming the grounds. That's the beginning of something. And those two that you see hanging out together, bopping music together, wherever vacationing together. All of us can go crazy out here about what the Cowboys will do. The power to do what needs to be done is in those two right there. So me and Fee, I feel pretty good about it because at least they are together. And what you think? They gonna spend all this time together talking about how they're going to break up? No. They're spending this time together talking about the dollars they got, about the dollars they making holla, and the rings and things that they have to go get. So we'll watch the roller coaster. But as long as you see those two showing up together, yeah, they're planning something good. That's what you watch more than anything.
Yeah, Michael Irvin's just saying the same thing I said the other day. The way that CeeDee Lamb and these guys are hanging together, and Dak Prescott, they're working out together. It just seems like at least it seems like a no-brainer that the Cowboys are going to extend George Pickens. And again, I don't think George is going to ask for no $40 million. And I don't see why the Cowboys would carry a $27 million cap hit. I think it's going to cap off the end of the Cowboys bust the budget offseason when they extend Brandon Aubrey, they extend George Pickens, and possibly get Jordan Brooks. Yeah, right. You're right, Texan. It's a green thing when we were talking earlier. USM salute. Irvin had no ill feelings negotiating his contract without an agent. Excuse me. If he can trust Jerry, I would save the money and kick the tires if I'm Pickens. And I think that's what I think that's what Jerry keeps trying to get these players to do. Because Jerry is saying if I can get one player to do it, I can get every player after that to do it. I can get every player after that to do it. I can cut out the nonsense with these middlemen. I can get these contracts done quicker. I think that's what he's saying. I do. Yeah, I think that's what he's saying. And Michael Irvin was just saying, again, same thing I said the other day. He just went the long way about doing it. He just basically said that, number one, what Stephen A. Smith said, it's a nothing but burger. It's just all publicity that Stephen A. Smith is doing. It's Stephen A. Smith trying to get clicks, trying to get likes, trying to get Jerry Jones, like it seems like he gets every single year. If y'all haven't noticed it, he gets Jerry Jones to come on his show or do something live with him on ESPN, getting the publicity of the Cowboys up. And, he gonna tip, man, Jerry ain't caring nothing about Stephen A. Smith. This is all a part of the game. And Jerry doesn't mind using this part of the game. It's just like Michael Irvin said. Michael Irvin said he couldn't resist that last part. Man, Jerry knows that's going to bring some kind of attention to what he said. But at the end of the day, there's nothing the league can do about it. There doesn't need to be an investigation. What are they going to do to Jerry? Jerry put money in all their pockets. Jerry just destroyed the referees on television for him. And also, Angie, you just got me on my last topic, Angie. This is one of the craziest things I heard all day.
Yeah, I think Jerry's.
This guy over on ESPN. This guy just said one of the craziest things about George Pickens. This man said that George Pickens is a luxury. Did y'all see this nonsense?
Yeah, I think Jerry's got to be careful with that posture. It's delicate. Yes, I agree with Tim. Like, he's in the right. Like, that this is the reality of playing the position. Like, there is franchise tags. But did you not learn with how the negotiation went with Micah Parsons and sticking to your guns on a handshake deal for you to come out and say, hey, this is what you signed up for? You know what you have in Pickens. You know there's some volatility personality-wise. You want him bought in. But I think the reality is, and maybe this is why Jerry's doing it, he is more of a luxury than a necessity. And I don't.
This man said that George Pickens is a luxury pick. Well, Angie, I'm gonna go ahead and spill the beans. I'm gonna tell you what I feel like George Pickens is. Based on what I saw before George Pickens got here, George Pickens is absolutely a need for the Cowboys. Angie, you tell me what you think. I think George Pickens is I think he's a need. I mean, I'm sorry, he may be an expensive need. I mean, he's an expensive need. But he's a need. He's not a luxury. He's a luxury. No. George Pickens is absolutely a need. A luxury is when you have CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, and you bring in Tyreek Hill in the slot. That's a luxury. Don't get me wrong, that's a luxury that you wouldn't mind having if you could afford that wide receiver trio. That's what a luxury is. But a need is two in this league today, with the way these defenses are, as talented as the defensive backs are, as talented and as ferocious as the pass rushes are, no. Two dynamic wide receivers is actually a need. And the reason why I say it's a need, anybody realize how Jalen Hurts got that Super Bowl? Man, you need all the weapons you can get in this league. You need all the weapons that you can get in this league. There is no doubt about it. Rumbowski said the terms luxury isn't relative. For the Cowboys, Pickens can be thought of as a luxury because of Lamb, but if you're the Raiders without a wide receiver, he's a necessity. Nah, I think he's a need. Based on what I seen from the Cowboys before he got here, he's a need. USCMC, hey, this is perfect. What if one of your top receivers goes down like last year? Sure was nice to have Pickens when Lamb was out. I called that a need. I agree with you. I agree with you. Ron Hanna said, brother Rico Jones dude just confirmed why we both don't rock with ESPN. Yeah, I'm with you. Angie said, I think he's a luxury kind of because he's basically a wide receiver one. A lot of teams don't have two number ones. It's a blessing. It's a blessing and a need. I got to have both, Angie. Because, Angie, think about this. CeeDee Lamb has been hurt, what, 2 seasons in a row? CeeDee Lamb, Rotator Cup, year before last. Last year, high ankle sprain. I call that a need. Man, what do y'all think we look like? What do y'all think we look like without CeeDee Lamb? I mean, without George Pickens last year when CeeDee went down with that high ankle sprain? Now, I believe you need in this league today, you need 2 receivers like that. You absolutely do. It's a godsend. It's a godsend to have 2 players like that. I'm telling you. I agree with that term blessing. It's a godsend. And it makes you realize that it's really a need. It's a need. Because we saw the Cowboys in 2023 when CeeDee Lamb racked up a record 1,700 something yards or more and got to the playoffs with Green Bay and all they did was shut down CD and you didn't have anybody else. Nah, you need it. You need it. I love the fact that we have it. I don't like, man, I'm telling you, I can't deal with that luxury part.
Don't mean that to disparage how good of a player he is. But defensively, this Dallas Cowboys team was terrible. That's what's holding them back from taking the next step. So the signings of Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark and Rashawn Gary, that's going to be the difference maker. That is the priority, that side of the ball. Pickens is great. You want him bought in. You want him there. But the defense is what's going to be a make or break for them. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, you make a great point, Angie. You make a great point. Only issue is CeeDee Lamb stayed healthy that entire year. CeeDee Lamb stayed healthy that entire year. But when we got to the playoffs, CeeDee Lamb wasn't enough. CeeDee Lamb was not enough when we got to the playoffs. You need these 2 wide receivers if one of them goes down because, again, Angie, and I know CeeDee Lamb is your man. My man. I know he your man. CeeDee Lamb has been hurt 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row, CeeDee Lamb has been hurt. I love having George Pickens. Green Bay proved to us we needed that second wide receiver. Because I'm telling you, it was bad. We looked so bad in that playoff game against Green Bay. They shut down CeeDee Lamb. Everything else went to trash. I mean, we had Michael Gallup. We had Michael Gallup out there trying to do a little something. It was bad. I like where we are offensively. I don't want to change anything with that. No, I want Jerry to figure out a way to get this done. The same way Howie Roseman figured out a way to get Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown done. I want him to figure out a way to get it done. And that's why I say I don't think you need to carry him as a franchise tag player. I think you go in there and get him a deal. I think you go in there and you get George Pickens a deal and you push that money some kind of way down. Because I'm just not caring about 2028. I got to get this man signed so I can get another player for the money that I would pay him on that franchise tag. I got to have him. I got to have him if I can get him at a price that is going to really be conducive for the team. So yeah, I want George Pickens to be on this team because I just don't think he's a luxury. I think he's a need. Last year showed us. I mean, really the year before last showed us. You really needed him towards the end and you didn't have him. So, I mean, you got to have these 2 wide receivers. Now, Angie, to be balanced on what we're saying here, because you're right, we were number 1. We had a number 1 type of offense without him. But what the Cowboys have to figure out how to do is figure out how to do it like Howie Roseman did it. Howie Roseman had those 2 stud wide receivers, and he went out there and did work with it. He went out there and got that Super Bowl, had those 2 stud wide receivers, had that running game, had that tight end, had that offensive line, had that defensive line, had those linebackers, had those defensive backs. We got to be able to do it the same way. We have to figure out a way to do it the same way, because I'm telling you, this doggone NFC is tough. The NFC is tough. You need all the weapons you can get in the NFC. I mean, because you got teams out there like the Rams. They have two stud receivers. Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams. I mean, you gotta have those wide receivers. And you think about it, Quentin Scott, you hit it right on the head. I mean, our 2 Super Bowls, we had Alvin Harper and Michael Irvin. Yeah, no doubt about it. Now, I think the Cowboys are saying, Angie, but again, Angie, let's just see what happens on draft night. If Jeremiah Love is there at 12, you and all of us are going to get our wish. Frank Lawrence, all of us. We're going to get our wish. If Jeremiah Love is there at 12, we're going to have one of the most high-powered offenses you've ever seen in your life, because the Cowboys are not passing on Jeremiah Love. They're not going to pass on Jeremiah Love. But if Jeremiah Love is not there, based on what we saw in the last game of the season from the New York, when Jaden Blue, New York Giants, and we'll listen to Brian Schottenheimer tomorrow. I'm going to try to go through the night and pick out the best parts of Brian Schottenheimer so we don't have to listen to the whole thing. But Brian Schottenheimer, Angie, he's already talking about Jaden Blue, Phil Maffa, and Malik Davis. I really believe that Jaden Blue and Malik Davis can play for the Cowboys. I really think they can be a huge factor in the run game. I really do. Especially Phil Maffa. If Brian Schottenheimer is telling me he likes big running backs, well, I don't know if it gets any bigger than Phil Maffa. 235, man. Phil Maffa, 235. This dude can run that rock. We just got to make sure he's healthy. Angie, I know it's wishful thinking. I don't think he'll be there at 12 either. But I think they're going to give Blue an opportunity. But I want them to give this dude, Phil Maffa, an opportunity. He's a big running back. He absolutely is a big running back. Rombowski said before Pickens, the offense was stifled by McCarthy's play calling. That was the issue. Apples to oranges comparisons. I didn't think Brian was all that great last year. But we're going to check this out tomorrow, because Brian Schottenheimer has said they're going to evolve. USMC said, man, G, they ain't smart enough to draft Love at 12. If he's there, Angie said, this is where we disagree, G, is at running back. Well, I don't know if we're necessarily disagreeing. I just think the Cowboys have already committed to they're going to give him an opportunity. Yeah, I think they're going to give him an opportunity. And I think Phil Maffa, I think he can run the ball. I really do. I think Maffa and Jaden Blue are going to really be able to help the Cowboys. And Angie, I'm telling you, I'm pretty excited for Jaden Blue. I think they're going to try to use him in the right way, get him on the outsides, and let Phil Maffa, Javonte Williams work those A-gaps the way the Cowboys have been doing. So I think Cowboys are going to be good. But, man, I'm excited for the draft night. I really am. All right, Cowboys fans, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. The real estate vet, he said all these stud receiver combos don't have players first repping them as an agent. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, Jig. Yeah, I think so, too. Yeah, athletes first. They don't have them representing them. They don't have them representing them. So, but again, man, I'm excited about the draft. I think the Cowboys are going to do some great things. I'm not ruling out anything for this year's draft. Trading up, trading back, trading for players. I'm not ruling out anything for the Cowboys. I'm excited. I want to get this defense on the field, and none of this nonsense of we're going to hide everything we're doing. No, man, y'all need to get this team on the field, implementing the system as early as possible. Also, another thing I want the Cowboys to do, I would like for the Cowboys to limit how many practices they make televised and let the media in. I would rather the Cowboys maybe have one practice a week where it's an open practice or televised. Man, this team need to go to work. They don't need to be doing all these open practices, and I know it's great for content, but I want this team to win. I would rather take my content further into December and January than just having this content hyping it up all through the summer, and then when we get where the rubber meets the road, the rubber don't meet the road. So again, man, I'm excited about this thing with Cowboys. I can't help it, Angie. I can't help it be excited. Christian Parker is just something new. He's going to bring he's bringing this defense into the 21st century. We just got to get him some players. I'm not going to put the pressure on him that he needs to have a top 10 defense. But at the end of the day, the one thing we can look forward to, I don't think there's any way Christian Parker can be worse than what the Cowboys were last year. Again, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. We're going to be back tomorrow. It is Good Friday. We're going to be back with some of these Brian Schottenheimer snippets and whatever else happens with the Cowboys from now until then. Until the next time, I'll see y'all with some more videos tonight. And I'll see y'all tomorrow again if the Lord is willing. More Cowboys content coming. Until the next time, DC4L, God bless. Let's talk Cowboys. We talk facts. Peace.
Yo, G.